Welcome to the stage where hearts unfold in the morning glow, stories untold. Let's paint with words, a masterpiece of art where dialogues bloom, igniting in every heart. Let's tap into the ocean of thoughts where waves of healing gently soar. Let's paint with words, a masterpiece of art where dialogues bloom, igniting every heart. Let's dive into the ocean of thoughts where waves of healing gently sought. Together we'll mend, stitch by stitch in the morning glow. Let's make the switch. A symphony of voices, harmonizing the air, echoing truth, banishing despair. Let's sow seeds of unity, watch them grow in this garden of hope under the morning glow. Let's bridge the gaps, erase the line in the tapestry of hearts. Let love shine with every word, a step we take towards a brighter dawn for all our sake. Welcome to the morning glow, where dreams take flight in this realm of possibilities. Let's unite, together we stand, hand in hand, healing the nation across the land. Let's dive into the ocean of thoughts where waves of healing gently sought. Together we'll mend, stitch by stitch in the morning glow. Let's make the switch. Let's dive into the ocean of thoughts where waves of healing gently sought. Together we'll mend, stitch by stitch in the morning glow. Let's make the switch. Let's symphony of voices, harmonizing the air, echoing truth.
Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Got a great broadcast lineup for you this morning, as I hope and I pray that we always do. I'm not important, just a question asker. My name is Raheen Aljame out of Atlanta, Georgia, but I got my sister and my brother from another mother, but we got the same father. Ladies are always first, so let me do this right here. Brandy, good morning, good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. How are you?
Hey, good. Hey, doing. I'm high and a happy, elephant elated, and porcupine proud to be here this
Amen.
morning. Yeah,
Amen.
that's a good one, name. That's a good one. That's a good one. Yes, Lord, that's a good one. Badger, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Another beautiful and blessed day you always giving us.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And we will rejoice and be glad, and we will rejoice, joyce. That's a mix. That's my mix right there. And be glad in it. Toussaint. Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Doing well.
Good.
Good morning to you all.
Good morning to you as well, sir. Good morning. You don't know where that hell came from. Good morning to you too, sir. Good morning. Hey, normally I say ladies are always first, but I'm gonna venture a little bit on this morning. And Tucson, I'm gonna come to you first, and I'm gonna ask you this question. Are you ready?
Mhm.
All right, here we go. Spiritually. What is the significance of water? How spiritual is water?
I had to think that I'm gonna have to think that over some more.
Mm-hmm.
But um, it's cleansing.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't found it, and maybe I have to look for it, but I don't think it's in there. But the
Mm-hmm.
concept is true.
Mm-hmm.
Cleansing is next to godliness. Somebody said something like that to their Savior.
But you know that a lot of time people
Um,
has been saying that, but you know that's not biblical. Mm.
no, it ain't in there. It's not in there.
No.
It's not in there. You know how they was watching Jesus. I think it was the Pharisees or somebody was I'm saying? Your disciples didn't wash their hands.
Mm-hmm.
Your disciples didn't wash their hands.
Yeah.
Mhm. Okay. But the Israelites were baptized in uh, the Red Sea.
Yeah.
The baptism,
Mm-hmm.
and it's almost a symbolic. And I'm not too bright. I'm not trying to be
Tucson, let me ask you a question.
like I'm knowledgeable, but
Let me ask you a question, brother. When the man was blind and Jesus spit on the ground and put it on, and he told him
glad
to
you said that.
go wash his face.
Thank you.
How clean was the place that he was going to wash his face in?
I don't know. Use the pool of Siloam.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There was evidently a pool of cleansing.
Mm-hmm.
It's surprising that you say that, but because Naaman, I think Naaman, I think it was the little girl said that if there was a prophet in Israel, he'll heal you of your leprosy.
Mm-hmm.
He sends the king a letter. King thought he'd send him that for war, but I think it was when the prophet come on the scene. He says, "Go wash and dip yourself 7 times in Jordan."
Yep.
Muddy water.
Muddy water. Come on.
He mad.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not the clarity of the water. It's just go wash.
Mm-hmm.
The instructions that were given. I'm gonna have to think that some more. But I thought about one thing I did think about is how Jesus and I think I started off in Exodus about foot washing when Aaron was supposed to offer sacrifice, wash his hands and wash his feet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna find that before we get done through this little time we got. But Jesus, can you imagine the creator of the heavens and the earth, the Son of God,
Mm-hmm. Come on.
girded himself with a towel,
Mm-hmm.
and he showed himself to be in the form of a servant. Surprising how we want big positions.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But he showed himself to be the greatest by girding himself with a towel and washing his disciples' feet.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Even Judas.
Even
You
Judas.
check it out.
Yes, sir.
Ain't that something? Ain't that something?
Wow.
But Peter misunderstood him. No, you'll never do that. So anyway, I can go on and on. I'm gonna think that over some more right here. But yeah, there's a something about water because remember when man got so evil and wicked, it was through the cleansing of the flood
Mm-hmm.
that God started all over again.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good deal. Good deal. Let me go to Brandy. Brandy, spiritually, how cleansing is water?
Water is absolutely cleansing in every sense of the word. Most people that actually live near water actually have more peaceful and near peaceful, have a better regulated, type of life.
Mm-hmm.
There is something in every aspect as far as like in religion of, like even just holy water, being baptized, everything. Water washes everything and makes everything clean and everything anew, so it is very purified. Water is very purifying in every sense of the word. Like if you even feel depressed, just go some water, sit by the water somewhere, go to a lake, go to, a beach or something. Like it is so purifying to just sit there and take that in. So it's always cleansing.
And it's amazing that you say that because I tell people all the time, and my wife knows, man, the ocean, That's my favorite place to be, man. Right there by the ocean. And
Yeah,
I lived in Hawaii for 4 years, so you know how peaceful that was. And everybody
yeah.
laid back, everybody's so calm, nobody's rushing and all that stuff.
Mhm.
It's just peaceful, man. It's just
It
peaceful.
is. It's
It's
very peaceful.
yeah, it's a totally different element, man. I came back and I had to get myself back in the swing of doing it the way they do it over here. Uh, but over there in Hawaii, man, man, it's okay. Shaka, hang loose, bro. Hang loose. It's all right. It's all right. You go somewhere, man. The Coachella start at 7 o'clock. It's 8 o'clock, 8:30, man. No worries, bro. No worries, bro. It's all right.
Right.
That's just how they do it, man. Badger, spiritually, how cleansing is water?
Oh man, it's John chapter 4.
Mm-hmm.
Woman of is it Samaria? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Samaria. Mm-hmm.
yeah. It, it's interesting because if we look at everything that Randy brought up and Tucson brought up, and if you also think about water that is stagnant and what happens,
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
and our body is made of, huh?
It start to stink.
Dude, it'll do more than that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Bacteria and all kinds of stuff that happen.
Mm-hmm.
And think about how much our bodies are made up of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there is so much.
Is that Brandon typing over there like that?
Oh, sorry about that.
Go ahead, Badger.
Yes, sir.
There is so much power in the symbology of the wash. Donald brought up the washing of the feet.
Yes.
There's baptism brought up. There's the calming effect that water has on most people, and then if you look at the stagnant water,
Mm-hmm.
even when we're stagnant, it's not the healthiest thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's just one example after another
Mm-hmm.
of water or H2O. You know, it is not it's simple yet deep.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Badger,
Yeah.
that was very good, man. That was very good, Badger. Man, look, I was grasping on to every word that you were saying, Badger. That was very good, brother. And the analysis that you gave was real good, dealing with the stagnant water and how it applies is very applicable to our lives and stuff like that. That was good, that Badger. That was good, man. That was good. Let's keep this thing going. Hush your mouth. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. You gonna mess it up now. Don't say nothing. I'm just picking at you. Annie from Mississippi. Good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning? Annie, you there?
Good morning, great morning. I am. Good morning, great morning, God morning to everybody.
Good. Annie, I need to ask you a question. Annie, spiritually, how what's the word I use? Significant. I'm gonna say significant. Lack of a better term, I can't remember nothing. How significant is water?
But cleansing,
how cleansing
yeah.
how cleansing is water? There you go. How cleansing is water?
Okay. Every time I go on vacation, I always want to go to be near the water because there's something about the sound of the waves in the ocean. Something about those sounds. It's like it makes everything okay. It is comparing what you hear in the moment to what you're going through and all the hustle and bustle, like you said earlier. It makes it all, it makes it seem like, what am I trying to say?
I don't know.
It's not, all of that. I'll put it like that. When you hear the sounds of the ocean, my favorite thing to do is to get my Bible and to go near the ocean, near the lake in the morning, and to listen to the waves. It makes it seem so small compared to where you are right then. When I had my first store, a guy told me, he said, get you a fountain, and he say, listen to and watch the water just flow. So I
Mm-hmm.
got me a fountain, and I had the little water coming out and going back in and coming out. It made everything make it seem so wonderful. So I
Mm-hmm.
love to be near water, and I tell anybody, if you're just having a bad day or just going through things in life, go to an ocean, go to a beach, go to whatever you got to go to, and just be in the water. And if you may be having the roughest time in your life,
Mm-hmm.
but when you get in the water, it makes it seem all right. It makes it seem like it's gonna be okay. So I just
Mm-hmm.
love water.
Exactly. Exactly. I do too, and I really do, man. It's like I said earlier, it's just so calm and so peaceful. It's just so peaceful. Captain Leonard, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning? Leonard, you
Good
there?
morning, Raheem, and the Morning Glow family.
Leonard, spiritually, how cleansing is water?
I think the water is a lot more important if you're talking about the spiritual application
Mm-hmm. Yes.
because of the various properties that water has.
Mm-hmm.
Water can flood, cause damage. Water can do a lot, and it
Mm-hmm.
provides for life on this planet. And without it, we probably wouldn't be here.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of the reasons why water is used spiritually because of the various states of water that people may not look at um, as if how special it is and what it can do. People don't understand the amount of power in water.
Mm-hmm.
There are bonds within water that if you try to separate them, they blow up your whole block.
Mm.
So spiritually, when it comes to cleansing, it's always talking about using water to expel filth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Spiritually, when you say you're cleansing yourself with water, you should be cleansing yourself of filth
Mm-hmm.
mentally. That symbolically, if you take water and use it as a cleanser, it washes away things.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we have this in our denomination, we call ourselves Baptists
Mm-hmm. Is that like the
because it
sprinkling?
represents a burial, a
Is that like
water burial. Hmm.
does that apply to the sprinkling when they say the sprinkling of the water?
I don't know what that applies to, but for one that
Well,
may.
when you say the cleansing, sometimes they don't dip you in the water. They take the water and they sprinkle the water on you.
Yeah, that's their practice.
Mm-hmm.
For whatever reason, they believe that just a drop of the water
Mm-hmm.
is enough.
Mm.
But as Baptists, which people claim they don't understand things. The point of being a Baptist is to partake in that same ritual that John the Baptist used with Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm.
It is supposed to signify a spiritual burial and rebirth. That's why Baptists use this particular type of ceremony to spiritually explain newness and acceptance of Christ.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Is this symbolic tradition of burial through water and rising again out of the water,
Mm.
which
It's
means
lifted
all
up.
that filth and dirt and whatever it was going on with you prior to wanting a new life
It's washed away.
is washed away.
Mm.
That's the concept. The Bible refers to several things, even when people were doing wrong and had backslidden and all these types of things. In order to get back in line and to atone, part of the ritual usually includes washing. Washing so much to the point where you're washing your clothes and everything else.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because
Good
so
deal.
that everything will be clean going forward.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. Tucson, talk to me, brother.
I was looking at a documentary
Uh-oh.
study on the flood. What you say?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
But you know that water's still here.
Wow.
It'll never happen again
Mm-hmm.
because of the promise.
Mm-hmm.
But that water's still here. But look what it did. It not, y'all remember Katrina?
Yes.
Thought that was the worst thing that ever happened to South
Mm-hmm.
the coastal area. On the contrary, in some people's lives, it was the best thing.
Mm. Explain
I
that
had
to
a
me.
house full of pressed wood.
Mm-hmm.
I had to throw it all out. But that's exactly what it was. Pressed
Press.
wood,
Mm-hmm.
particle board.
Mm-hmm.
But because I had insurance, and then people that didn't have insurance, they now live in better houses than they ever had.
Mm-hmm.
I went to the store and got more solid wood, good oak wood furniture, the house full of it. So what some may have looked at it as a disaster, it put people in predicaments they'd never been in before.
Mm-hmm.
A fresh start.
Yeah.
By water. I'm talking about I had 5 foot of water in my house. Somebody's deck wind up in my backyard. It didn't even knock the fence down.
Mm.
But it gave us a fresh start. Water. People that wouldn't even look in your direction.
Mm-hmm.
It leveled the playing field. You couldn't get no more than $300 out the bank. I don't care how much you had in it.
Mm.
We was all in line. Hey, how you doing? I lost everything. And the millionaire was right in there with you. I lost everything too. We
Mm-hmm.
finally start speaking to each other. They didn't have their nose up in the air.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, we get hurricane season. You should see us, boy, I tell you. We be on the run, getting away. Annie, you know something about that. We got to get away from Mississippi when the hurricane comes. We got to go.
Mm-hmm. Get up out of there. Yes, sir.
You go somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And we meet at the gas station. Hey, how you doing? You can go first.
Mm. Wow. Wow.
It's very cleansing. It'll change your attitude. Depends on how you look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we need rain on us. You know those songs says, "Open up the windows of heaven, let it rain."
Rain down on me.
You know
Yeah.
the water of the Spirit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's another cleansing that we need to be washed and baptized in for real.
Good deal.
Might change our attitude.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Good deal.
508-924-35. He said good deal. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. We're talking this morning how spiritually, how cleansing is water. And what is the significance of it all? Does it mean anything at all? Or are we looking too deep into this thing? What do you say about that, Brandy?
I'm sorry, I was on mute. I'm sorry. Will you repeat that?
We said same thing spiritually. How cleansing is water, or is it clean? Is it spiritual at all, or are we just looking too deep into it?
No, it's definitely spiritual. Like I said, you just notice how differently you feel, even when in baptism. You know what I mean? Like of course, like no one is made, you know, the act of the purity of being baptized is to be made anew, you know, to be forgiven of your sins and to accept the calling of God into your life. Like if anybody on this line has been baptized, you should know like how different that felt when you came out of that water. You know what I'm saying? Just even at that moment, like it's just, it is a psychological and also, you know, freeing. Just it's psychologically freeing, and also just the calmness of. But like I said, I like the way Badger said, like when it's stagnant. You know, when water sits too long, it's, you know, you get insects and, you know, it's the mold and, you know, things like that. So that just lets you know that you should always be moving. If the body is made up for 70% water, like that means water is currency, just like money is like it's something that needs to be moving at all times. It's not supposed to be sitting. So, you know, you could take that and apply that to your own life. Like you can't sit and wallow in despair. Like you have to be ever flowing like the currency, like the current of water, and to keep moving and to keep flowing through, you know, through hardships and you know, good times, bad times, hardships, you know, whatever it may be. Water is definitely a way of applicable way of living your life, is being like water.
Like Bruce Lee say, be like the water.
Yeah.
If you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. If you put water into a glass, it becomes the glass.
Right.
All right, good Lord. Go ahead, Mr. Bruce Lee. He said that thing. Badger, talk to me. And if Mississippi come to you next.
I mean, I was just sitting here thinking about all the ways that we use water, you know, and how it's so amazing.
Yes.
You know, water. Look at the Grand Canyon. You
Come
know,
on.
bottom of a waterfall. You know, it's just so much. The flood. You know, the story of the flood is told by people all over the world.
Yes.
That there are flood stories.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's just and I was sitting here thinking about the topic that Donald Toussaint did on the show last night when he was asking the question, you know, where's God at? And I'm like, you know what? The easiest, simplest way to answer that is water.
Mm. Wow. Wow. In the water. In the water. And if Mississippi, talk to me. We lost Annie. Okay, hopefully she'll come right back. Just hung up a second ago. Leonard, talk to me, brother. Leonard, you there?
Something was going on with the app
Oh, okay.
for a
Gotcha.
minute, but it's back now.
Okay, good deal. Good deal. Talk to me, brother.
You know, I like to say, a lot of people really want to get into the study of water and actually learn the significance of something being considered an element this way. It's element because it's a building block. You got things that are not explained in certain Bibles, the significance of them. For instance, fire, air, wind, fire, earth, water. These things are elements that come together that support our entire ecosystem. All of us could die off tomorrow.
Yes.
Still be water. Even in creation, and when it speaks about the creation, and how the significance of water was even used, even the mist itself to this day
Mm-hmm.
still supplies our forest and everything. Just the mist in the morning. It's not just happenstance. It's to water the earth. Even during creation, is references to the importance of water long before you were even created.
Mm-hmm.
Think of how many millions of years before you were here that water was.
Yes.
And it was the source of all life. There are some people who have a complete belief that somehow a man evolved out of something that came out of the water. There are
Mm-hmm.
people who truly hold that belief that the whole existence of mankind somehow creeped out of the water
Mm.
and evolved into a man. That's when you hear all these fights about evolution and things of that nature. When we send whole projects across this universe looking for what? Water.
Water. Trying to find other sources of water.
Just a drop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Because where they find water, they'll find life in
Yeah.
the water.
Mm-hmm.
Think about one drop could contain life in it that you
Mm-hmm.
can't even see with your regular eye. And if they find one drop somewhere, guess what they're going to put it under a microscope and look for? The life in it.
Yep.
Because
What
that's
kind
how
of-
important water is.
Yeah.
Wherever it is, there's usually life.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. Toussaint. Coming to you, brother.
You talk about talking fast. You got a good subject this morning because Raheem, water. We how much is a percentage of us?
Mm-hmm.
It's just that
Mm-hmm.
when I guess if you don't drink a certain amount of it, you get sick.
Yeah.
Start to feel bad. You'll dehydrate.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get it in you. But as far as cleansing is concerned, I mean, I probably, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get me some water.
Come on now.
There's a kind of way. Drink this up. That was good. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
I
just read something, Toussaint.
Full of it.
I just read something and it's
Yeah.
going to line it up with what you just said. It says generally you can survive longer without food than without water, while some individuals have survived for extended periods without food up to 2 or 3 months. An average person can only survive a few days without water.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I wouldn't suggest that you try it
No. Mm-hmm.
because you need it. And then again, go back to what I was saying before. Can you imagine a person that would not take the time out to use that valuable thing called water?
Mm-hmm.
We see people all the time, and the body automatically begins to stench. The less you use it,
Mm-hmm.
so it becomes a rough deal. You start looking like what you are.
Come on.
Dirt.
Dirt.
One thing about it though, Raheem, I found out that, you can wash yourself over and over and over and over and over again. Use some Clorox. Try it.
Mm-hmm.
Bleach yourself if you want to. And get you a white towel.
Mm-hmm.
and wipe yourself. You know the towel gonna be dirty.
Yeah. Definitely it's gonna be dirty.
Yeah, but I'm looking at this word some more, Raheem. So I don't know how long you're gonna stay on it,
Mm-hmm.
but it's very cleansing,
Yeah.
soothing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was talking about it before, man. Look, boy, you really want to talk about? You really want to hear from God? Go sit out on the beach. Go sit out on the water. I
Mm-hmm.
don't go fishing because
Mm-hmm.
there's too many fish markets between me and the water. So I just go and get me some fish that way. But you just sit out there. You know, people, they don't mind not catching fish just to be out there.
That's me all day long, brother. That's me all day long. If they bite
Mhm,
good,
mhm.
that's a bonus. If they
That's where you
bite, that's
get
a
these
bonus.
ideas. That's where you get these ideas from. These
Hey,
thoughts.
exactly. Probably so. Probably so. Probably so. Badger, talk to me, brother.
Oh man, talking about fishing, carp fishing is one of my favorite things to do because you just throw out your bait and wait.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That practice of
You
patience,
see crawfish.
Mm-hmm.
and and then if you always decided that day that you're going to catch something, you'll get that surprise bite.
Mm-hmm.
It could be a small one, or it could be one that's going to tire you out.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's a fight now. I've called them
uh,
before. Yeah, that's a fight.
so, but then like, dude, just talking about the Yahweh and water and how water has been used all throughout history to either destroy or to create.
Mm-hmm.
It is one of the most dangerous yet um simplest misunderstandings out there.
Mm-hmm.
Um in the sense of if you only focus on the word itself and nothing more, just the
Mm-hmm.
word.
Yeah.
It's like anything else, you'll miss what more is out there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the whole principle of if water is capable of so much, how can one not acknowledge that there's something out there that created it?
Mm-hmm.
Because even what's his name, Nil? I don't know how to pronounce his last name. DeGrasse, maybe.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know you're talking about. Mm-hmm.
Even made a comment about he can't deny that something isn't out there. It
Mm-hmm.
because everything just makes sense with everything that goes on. Everything just goes together, and science can't explain how it can be that perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So what's left?
Exactly. Exactly. Leonard, talk to me, brother. What's left?
What's left?
What's left? How long will we survive? And I read that statistics that they were saying about not being able to live as long, certainly without water, than you can food. But if our water source was to deplete, what impact would that have on our lives, physically and or spiritually?
Well, eventually, if we could not get to water at all, we would eventually die.
Yes.
However, if you know how to get water from other places, you have a chance. Say, for instance, there are people who live in jungles who know how to get water out of the plants.
Mm-hmm.
We've read about, and it's more common for droughts to occur other places. Like, say, for instance, when we have a drought here, we usually talk about that drought in reference to the damage of people who are farmers and crops.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, all alone, they can go right to the faucet and get water to drink. So it's a drought as it relates to what farmers need.
Yeah.
But there is a huge danger as it relates to dehydration. Our organs won't work without water.
True. True.
The very cells in our body will find it hard to exist without water. So even if you go 3 days without some water, it's going, you're gonna be on your way to dying without water. For whatever it's worth, you know, they say, like you were just pointing out before about eating versus drinking. Well, it all goes back down to water. People like stuff you cannot see is in water.
Exactly.
What makes up the water molecule itself can support your body for a very long time. So it's not good to go 3 or 5 days without water. You're heading towards death. That's how serious water is.
You killing yourself. You killing yourself. Yeah.
You will hear about people who survived that didn't have food for a long time. But water, not that long.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
So that's why I remember, even though he was really funny, Dick Gregory, whom I met on quite a few occasions and read his books and things. He was very serious about how dehydration is what was killing people the most.
Yep.
And simply how you can survive, but you got to get the water. It's like that inside pump, that energy that pumps through your body to keep things going. Like you say, to clean out even inside your body, water is cleansing you.
Yeah.
To carry things outside of your body. Like say, for instance, urine. Imagine if you couldn't urinate.
Ooh.
Your body will you would wind up poisoning your own self.
Yep.
Become
Inside
toxic.
out. Yep. Inside
That's
out.
how important water is. Sometimes when you using water and cleaning wounds and things, if you don't have that water, it helps even pull infection away. All types of things in cleaning. And that's why you use it so much and you're taught to keep things clean. Sometimes you can't touch something, but you may just want to run some water over. You ever hurt yourself like that or scrape yourself up?
Hey, Leonard, you just want to rinse it off. You just want to rinse it off.
Yeah, you got to rinse it off. You know, as an old folks would say, go somewhere and rinse off.
Rinse it off. Yeah, rinse it off. Rinse the thing off.
Rinse off first. But hey, and I'm trying to stay straightforward, right? But imagine when you're around people that don't wash, right?
Ooh.
You get an attitude around somebody's steak. You know what I'm saying? You ain't even got to try.
You get that look on your face
when you around somebody that has not washed.
Hey, Leonard, and I don't know what it is, man, but when you smell it the first time, you get that look on your face. You try not to do it.
It's like somebody stabbed you.
What's
right?
What's wrong with you?
and people will pretend as much as they can, but it's there.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it hasn't been exposed to water. It'll start to stink and decay. It's
like that.
You felt like you got hit in the face.
Look, what's wrong? Nothing.
So rude with it. If you come in and you stink, and somebody may just holler, "I know you lying."
Exactly. And they talk. They put their hand on them. They know when to talk to you. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Or just hand you some towels and some soap and tell you go on in the bathroom.
Toussaint about to act up. I wouldn't dare go to Toussaint right now. And that joke, I can hear him in the background. I would not dare go to him right now. Annie from Mississippi. We're talking about spiritually how cleansing this water. We're gonna switch the topic in just a minute or two. But what's on your heart, Annie?
I just agree with everybody else. I mean, water is very important. That's why, God gave it to us to use. Spiritually, I just think about what somebody already said about the baptism, how, you go down in the water and, it's just water, natural water, but you come up different. And, it's just a representation, like somebody already said, of your sins being, washed away. So water to me is very important. It's just, I don't drink enough water, but it's still important.
Well, we could change that today.
I'm gonna leave it right there. Right?
You can change that today. Go get you a bottle of water and just drink it now. And before the day is over, drink you about 5 or 6 of them.
The only water I can drink is Walmart non-brand. Now, Core and all this other stuff, Dasani, I don't like the way it tastes. The only thing that goes down smooth with me is the Walmart spring water in the non-brand version. And I can deal with that when it's cold, but anything else, nah.
But see, you got to drink something. Just go and get it. Get you some. Get you one of them cases. About 40. Get you about 40 of them. About 40. And drink them. Drink them all. I believe 40 might last you about. I believe 40 bottles of water might last you a year, Annie.
It would. It really would.
Last you a whole year. Like, man, them water over there spoiling. She ain't drink them. Like, Brandy, you there?
Yep, I'm here.
I want to ask you a question. And I want you to tell me exactly what's going on. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I believe there's a webinar that's happening real soon.
Yeah.
What's that webinar about?
Well, the webinar is actually about financial warfare. Really, that's the heading of it. It's really about what we're going through right now, in our, in our space, as far as like just financially, the world tariffs, what's going on with home values and mortgage loans and everything. If anybody knows, I'm a senior mortgage loan officer at a new all Black owned credit union in the Atlanta area called Soul Community Federal Credit Union. And we are licensed in all 50 states, and we are trying to help people with home ownership and investing going into this new world, that we're, this new financial future that we're going into. So I do have our keynote speakers, which is Dr. Alexander Bedell, which is the head of the residential and commercial division at the Federal Credit Union at Soul Community. And then also Minister Bathsheba Francis, which is also another mortgage loan officer on our team, which is also ordained minister. And she will also be a keynote speaker. And then I will be coming in as a chief economist just to talk about, what's going on in our world, how we're going to navigate what's going on right now. And so that there's no pause to building generational wealth for our future and for our families. So it's going to be a very, very important webinar. It's taking place on Tuesday, May 20th at 7:30 Eastern time. And if you're interested in trying to go to attend to it, it is free. You can go to www.beacons, beacons.ai/Soul CFCU. Okay. Now, if you can type that in a chat for me, and we'll put it on the screen. I want to make sure you get it right. And everybody that's listening, y'all listen. Y'all heard what she just said. Now, she said it's going to be it's going to start at 7:30. Now, don't y'all get 7:30 in the morning thinking y'all gonna be no. Yeah. After you get off of work and you get home, you take a shower, and you get you a nice cup of water or whatever you're gonna put in your cup. Sit down, be able to relax for a little bit, and it's free. Yes, free. Don't cost you a dime. Yes, exactly. It's definitely gonna be some information that you want to know. As far as like, if you do have money right now, like what to do with it, how to invest, how to go ahead and start a business. It's just going to be a lot of information on that call. Like I said, it's going to be very much dealing with just the financial warfare that we're going. If you haven't looked around, that is definitely what we're going through right now. It's like you can't turn around and catch a break. It's always another announcement on this. Now there's tariffs on this. You can't, it's more people trying to order normal clothes right now, and it's putting an extra $200-300 on shit. Like, so how do we navigate what's going on right now? How do we prevent it from stopping us from buying a new house or investing into a new home? So we're going to be covering a lot of great things. And Dr. Alexander Bedell and Bathsheba, they're both amazing. Both they're, like I said, we're all on the residential and commercial team at Soul Community Federal Credit Union. And just the fact that we got an all black owned federal credit union, federal in Atlanta, Georgia. We are about to do amazing and big things, especially with introducing 100% home financing in all 50 states. So you definitely want to tune in.
Yeah. And Badger wanted to know, can you serve Texas? He's in
Texas.
Texas.
All 50 states. All 50 states. So you definitely want to tune in.
Now, what is it? Because I can hear it in your voice. What is it that has you most excited about this webinar and about this venture that you all are going into?
Just the fact that we get to help people in all 50 states, as far as, most times when you get, licensed, you're able pretty much licensed in your residential state. And the fact that we can reach so many people into helping them, like, it isn't always about first time home ownership. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's about investing into real estate so that it can pay the way for your mortgage. You know what I mean? And so it's going to be introducing people to a whole different mindset. And so I'm so excited to be able to teach that to people and to help them to understand. Because, like, I know everybody's like, I want to own a house, but I can't afford no 300 for, and I want to challenge you to think differently, to not just be a business owner, but to be an investor and to have multiple streams of income that cover the way that you live your life, that cover your mortgage, that cover your car note. You know what I mean? So that way the money that you have from your job is just leisure. It's just more investment money. It's more time to sit at the water, right?
Exactly.
It's more time to get to the beach and sit at the water. And so I'm going to be so excited. Like I said, the fact that we've got that type of reach now, all 50 states, is going to be amazing.
Now, if a person wanted to, I put on the screen how they can actually get in contact with the link that you provided for us. But if they wanted to get in contact with you beforehand, ask you a couple of questions or whatever, is there an email or something that they could use to get in contact with you?
Yes, you can contact me at bgreen, GREENE at soul, SOULCFCU.org. Or you can call my phone number directly, which is also my other business that I know some of you know is iCredit Solutions. That's where we do the credit repair. So that's another thing, is like I'm able to incorporate my business too and kind of tag team to help people get in a better credit position too for these mortgages. So you can call me at 1-800-404-1143.
Now, call just on business. Don't call with no mess.
Call. If I don't answer, please leave me a message. I will call you back. But yes, 800-404-1143. And you could go over to, like I said, to the website. He's put it on the chat that you could go in there and you can register for the webinar that's on Tuesday.
Okay, good deal. Good deal. Now, if you were not who you are, and you were looking for some of the services that you all provide, why would you go? What would lead you to Beacon?
Definitely if you're trying to get into a mortgage or either new purchase or either refinance your house. We're going through really tough with refinances right now because I heard about 74% of people can't get their home refinanced right now. So we want to challenge that as far as being able to turn it over within as little as 7 days. I know sometimes a refinance can take a little bit of time to complete. So we want to challenge how quickly we're able to do that. So we're introducing Quick Fast Refinance. That is actually a website. So you can go to that website too as well if you're interested in refinancing your home. So go to quickfastrefinance.com and spread that around too if you know someone else that is looking to refinance their home. But we're looking to try to close them in as little as 7 days. But that would be a reason why you want to go over there. If you're having credit challenges, if you are having issues with things that have happened right now, like your student loans pop back up, which happened to a lot of people right now, and it takes their credit scores up to like 100 and something points. Well, we have a student loan program, a dispute program that's able to either remove the late payments or remove the from your credit report in its entirety. Will you still owe it? Probably so, but at least it will free you to be able to make some financial decisions or either build, some type of income to be able to take care of that. Yes. A lot of people don't realize that their credit is actually money. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And they're not utilizing and leveraging their credit to do so. You know, whether that's like, you know, go ahead and starting a business and leveraging business credit cards, or like I said, investing into a real estate property that is paying them, or just any type of passive income streams that you can invest in. Sometimes it might take a little bit of money to start that passive income stream. You definitely want to try to come over, like I said, to the website, register, come and attend to the webinar so you can get so much more information.
Okay. Now, if I got a credit score of 275, what kind of house could I get?
Nothing. Nothing, but you can get a traditional FHA as low as a 580 credit score. But
Mhm.
the question is how much is your mortgage? You know, how much is your interest rate going to be? How much is your PMI going to be? Your private mortgage insurance? Those things can be substantially high if you don't get your credit in a better position before you apply. So you definitely would want to, like I said, come over and get some insight on what you need to do, or what, you know, what needs to be done to your credit so you could go ahead and get started on those things.
Good deal. Good deal. I want to ask this question. I'm gonna go to a couple of other people because I know they probably have questions as well, and I want to, you know, honor that and respect their time too. But I've heard people say that instead of doing a home equity equity loan, whatever that is, they just want to get the equity out of the something they was talking about, something crazy about they just got equity built up in the home. How could they get that out instead of refinancing? That's what I'm saying. Instead of refinancing, get an equity loan. What is the difference?
Yes, you can do a HELOC, which is a home equity line of credit. So you can pull a cash out refinance. So you can go ahead and put it. So for example, you have a home, you want to do renovations in it, but yet you want to pay down some bills too, and kind of, you know, get your credit cards back in order because you might have maxed them out. And I'm pretty sure that is a lot of homeowners situation right now, because the country is about 1.4 trillion in credit card debt right now. So you can do a cash out back cash back out refinance. And if you go to quickfastrefinance.com and get started, you could definitely get that process started. All we need is 3 documents to see how much you qualify for, and that's your mortgage statement, your insurance statement, and your driver's license. It's just that simple.
Okay. Now, is that like taking out another loan? Or is that like taking out another mortgage, or what does that look like?
Yeah, it will start over, but it will start over what the interest rate is right now. But some people need to not fear that. Sometimes people like, okay, well, you got to think about it. Most people their house, they ain't gonna be done paying for it in this lifetime anyways. And do you want to stay in your home comfortably? Do you want to have other money to be able to invest? Because the way that I look at it, if you do start it over, but you do get a substantial chunk of money, you could leverage your credit to create more income to pay that house off. You know what I mean? Some people are so afraid of taking a step forward like that because they think it's something of a state of permanency. No, sometimes that step back can leverage you like 10 steps ahead real fast. You know what I mean? And and I think most people don't trust themselves with money, and that's why they don't do it. They know themselves, right? They know that they might, go ahead and book that trip instead of having delayed gratification behind something they can go ahead and invest in and have a return coming back quickly. And most people like say, oh, I don't want to be a landlord. I don't want to do that. I don't want to own property that somebody else is living. Most people don't know mortgage notes exist. You can have a mortgage note and never have to deal with a tenant ever in this life, but you have a asset that is paying you monthly for the next 20, 30 years. You know what I mean? So a lot of people just don't know what their resources are, and they're so afraid to take a step back to catapult themselves 10 steps forward. And I want to challenge people to think in that manner with every consult that comes my way, being with the credit union, with every webinar that we produce. We need to challenge people to think differently in this new world that we're entering in, because the tax bracket has been set. They've told us, where we're headed. And if you are making less than what you're doing, you will be taxed the most. That is, the most money will be coming out of your paycheck. That you can't keep walking around and going exempt, trying to get away from Uncle Sam. The line has been drawn in the sand, and so you have to make a decision. Like, I need to get around some people that understand this. I need to get around some people, to help me to figure this out. And if that's you definitely want to come either consult with me, or either, like I said, come over and figure out what we can do, like real estate wise, with the credit union.
Now, the credit union, are they going to have a section where they deal with business as well, or?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So we're like, it's brand new, right? So we're
Mhm.
just like building everything from the ground up. It's going to have auto loans. It is a actual physical branch. It's located in Austell, Georgia.
Mhm.
And then so you will be able to go in there and conduct business too as well. There are 2 windows in there. That you will have checking account, savings account, all of those things. Like I said, it is a federal branch. So
Okay.
and I'm so excited. Like anytime you get into a company on the ground floor and you're able to bring in a lot of insight on how systems and processes are going to be set up, it's just a really exciting time, because
Mhm.
we're able to kind of go into this new. I mean, we're going into AI and implementing just all these different things that our new world is producing, and so
Mhm.
it's just a really exciting time to be a part of.
Good deal. Now I'm gonna go, and I know a couple of people may have a question. I'm gonna go to Annie from Mississippi first, because Annie from Mississippi is a realtor, a broker, and look here, she's been doing this thing for a long time, so I know she may have a question or two for you. Annie,
Hmm.
Annie from Mississippi, and I just wanted to link y'all two together anyway. Talk to me, Annie.
All right. Okay. I just want to ask you, do you guys sell the loans?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Do you sell the loans?
What do you mean by sell them? Like we actually have them in, like we're not outsourcing? Is that what you mean? Like through a different lender?
Yes.
Yeah, they're actually in house. We had the owners of Soul Federal Credit Union. They're all a Black owned staff, and they actually are doing the loans in house. So they have a certain like amount, like up to a couple billion for each thing, like for refis, for new purchases, and things like that. So yeah, it will be done in house.
Mhm.
Okay, because a lot of banks and credit unions, if they're a smaller branch, they always sell to a national industry rather than they keep it in house. So I was wondering, do you guys sell the loans? And
Yeah, they're
another
doing it.
thing, is it
Mhm.
better to deal with the
Go
is
ahead.
it better to deal with the credit union than a regular bank?
Yes, absolutely. Credit unions are based on membership and, of course, and then also relationship. You're going to find some of probably the best interest rates when you're dealing with a credit union versus a national bank. I just heard Bank of America got in a lot of trouble again recently for a lot of just undisclosed fees behind
Yes.
certain
Yes.
products and things like that. So it's
Mhm.
definitely better to be with a credit union than it is a national bank.
Mhm. Mhm. Annie.
Okay, all right. I mean, I've dealt with many banks. I think I may have done with the Navy Federal. I've dealt with them selling stuff at home through them, but I've never really used the credit union. But it's good to know that that you guys are out there and you guys deal with all sorts of space. So that's wonderful. So we may be giving you a call as well.
Mhm.
I may
Yes.
see somebody your way as well, especially if you guys can help out with the credit as well. So I may be calling you or sending you an email one day soon.
Yes, absolutely. And then too, like just the challenge of thinking even further, like if you are a business owner and investor and you're looking for capital, like keep in mind credit unions are going to be more I guess more inclined to loan to you quicker than a bank
Mhm.
will. They're gonna want to see so much credentialing, how long you've been in business, paperwork, statements and things like that. When you can actually leverage your personal credit score into 0% interest credit cards, and there are so me I have like in my store. I might put that link up there for you too, Raheem. In
Okay.
my store I have a list of over 60-70 different credit unions that's broken down by which bureau that they're going to pull from, so that you can
Mhm.
go ahead and line up how you're going to do your business credit card stacking method and get over $100,000 to be able to liquidate to purchase investment property. So
Mhm.
yeah, you definitely want to get with credit unions because that is where it's going to be at.
Mhm.
I'm
Good
gonna
deal.
put that link there for you to
Got it.
Raheem to put up there.
Got it.
They can access that list. It's like I think I got it for $27, but it's a definitely detailed list to where you can find out if that credit union is national or regional, what credit union they're going to pull from. It's just a lot of resources there. And if you don't know anything about business credit card stacking, or you need someone to help you through that process, definitely please contact me. Give
Mhm.
me a call, because there's a way to do it. It's a method to the madness and a strategy to be able to leverage that much income for investment.
Exactly. Exactly. Wow. Wow. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me.
I'm listening right now. I've also went on and registered for that May 20th Zoom meeting
There you go. There
on
you
the
go.
site.
Hmm.
Interested in some things as it relates to uh, trying to get equity out of my home, because if your credit is challenged, you can have a lot of equity in your house and not be able to get to it.
Hmm.
So is there a product that they offer that caters to people with challenged credit?
Basically, then it say, "Give me my money. Get my money to me." Brandy, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm sorry. I was typing the other link in there too for quick fast refinance. If someone's interested in refinance or cash out HELOC, you could put that up there too as well, Raheem. But
Okay.
yes, there is a way to help people with challenge credit. Like I said, if that person has challenge credit, we can actually genuinely get the credit score up by removing negatives, or either kind of boosting their credit in certain type of ways, like whether we're using trade lines or whatever we need to do to get that credit score up before applying. But yeah, there are, like I said, traditional FHA is like normally at 580. Of course, like I said, you want to be a little bit higher than that. But yeah, we can definitely help with people with challenge credit issues. So definitely let me know if it's student loans, collections, charge-offs, a lot of inquiries sitting on your report. All of those things can be rectified.
Hmm. Wow, that's good. That's good. Any other questions, Leonard?
No.
Okay, Badger?
See, I've been waiting to come across something like this.
See, that's why
Because
you
they're trying.
that's why you're on the morning glow. See, that's why.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Because we originally got the mortgage on our house like 8 years ago, and I've been paying it 1 month ahead for 8 years.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And the car loan that we got has been doing the same thing. It'll be paid off later this year. So for 5 years, everything's been paid a month ahead on the car, and 8 years for the house. And they're trying to tell me my credit score ain't gone up at all.
Yeah.
So I've tried to get it refinanced and all kinds of stuff. And I know so many families that are in similar boats, especially here in Texas, because I deal with the disability community. I'm a board member for a nonprofit,
Okay.
and it's so crazy when folks need repairs and different things, and then we have to apply for those, like either Habitat for Humanity stuff or the other types of federal grants or loans, and the wait time is 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and it's not even a guarantee.
Right.
So
Right.
so that's why I was asking a couple of the questions I asked in the chat, like how does that look like, especially someone on fixed income? Like, are y'all able to help folks in those kinds of situations and things like that?
Yes, I've seen them be able to produce amazing results as far as getting approvals and things like that. We've kind of been able to pull out, income that people didn't realize that they had, and being able to go ahead and push those approvals through. We just need to see, like I said, exactly what challenges that you're going through, and then everybody's kind of be, of course, evaluated on a case-by-case basis. We'll pull you in for an assessment first before you get a chance to make a decision on anything, and we'll give you our best advice on which way you should go, whether that's like, pulling out a HELOC or, just go ahead and refinancing or whatever you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
One last question.
Sure.
Do y'all charge for that, or
No.
okay?
Yeah,
A lot of places around here do.
Yeah,
That's why I
no.
wanted
When
to
you
ask.
go to quick fast refinance and go ahead and register, and get those 3 documents over to you, we'll give you the way it goes. We'll give you a welcome call. We'll just try to figure out what your goals and intentions are. Like, are you trying to do renovations on your home? Or are you just trying to pay things off? And then we'll go ahead and do a property value search and then see how much you can actually pull out from there. And then we'll go ahead and do, like I said, with those 3 documents, we can make the assessment of how, but it's not a charge for it now.
Mm-hmm. Good deal. Good deal. Now tell everybody where we started, Brandy, and let them know about the webinar, and then we're gonna continue with the conversation. So
Yeah. So again, the webinar is called it's called the Foundation of Financial Warfare. And we will be covering financial and spiritual warfare. It's going on currently, world tariffs, home values, and mortgage loans, and what's ahead for our financial future. It will be with keynote speakers of the credit union, Dr. Alexander Bedell and Bathsheba Francis, and as well as me on the webinar. And it will be on Tuesday, May 20th at 7:30 Eastern time. It will be held on Zoom. We will be broadcasting across multiple social media platforms, but the quickest way to go ahead and just grab your free ticket is to go to that beacons.ai/soul CFCU and go ahead and register.
Now, Brandon, would it be recorded?
Yes, it will.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to cross Zoom either like on YouTube and then like on probably my TikTok at the same time.
Okay.
If you follow me on my platforms or anything like that. But yeah, you can definitely follow me on there. I'm Brandy Janelle on TikTok, and then Brandy Green on Facebook as well. I've been back from Walker to Green, so I've been kind of, a lot of people know me as Brandy Walker, but
Yeah.
I took my old name back, so so you can find me on social media that way.
Just look, she ain't hard to find. She ain't hard to find. Just look, she ain't hard to find. And I'm loving this, and I'm loving what you all are doing, and I'm appreciative of this. And the reason why I asked would it be recorded, I have actually I'm producing a broadcast during that time, and I won't be able to jump on until after it's over.
Okay.
And then I definitely jump on after it's over. But
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure that it was going to be recorded because I didn't want to miss it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we'll be starting a new YouTube for the bank too as well. So I plan on putting it on there too as well.
Good deal. K with an E. Good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning? Tucson. Man, ain't that's Tucson. Let me go back to Tucson after this. K with an E. Good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. Fine.
Now we got here in Georgia. I believe it is. They're opening up a brand new, totally black owned credit union that's going to do everything across the board, has all the bells and whistles and more. How does that sit with you, okay? And not only that, I know you over there in Kansas City, somewhere like that. You're in one of them little fancy places. It's global. It could help you in Kansas City. Hoppla, Kansas, whatever name of the city you in.
You know what it is. Home of the Chiefs, baby.
Oh Lord, see, got her started. But yeah, we have Brandy on here, and she's they're doing a webinar on this, what's that, Tuesday, May the 20th, starting at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you need to go and register for that webinar. You ain't doing that on no Tuesday. Go on, get onto the webinar. You can get the information that you need. And do you have any questions or annual concerns? A black-owned credit union.
You said Tuesday. Y'all gonna put the information on the thing? What we gonna do?
It's already there. I had it on the screen. I put it back up there, or you could go to the rebroadcast today at 3:00 and you'll see it again. But I'm gonna put it back up there. But we need you on this webinar. We need you on it.
You said her name is Brandy.
She's right there. Ask what her name is. Right there. Yeah. Ask what her name is. She right there.
I wanted to address it by her name, but thank you, Brandy, and blessings and more blessings. And
thank
God
you.
Higher than this, He ain't done. And I thank God, because that's like an answered prayer. That's an answered prayer. I talk about it all the time. Like, this is how this is generational wealth. And it ain't we all in it together. I thank God for you and giving you all the prayers.
Yes, amen. I need them because, woo, Lord, Raheem knows the spiritual. That's why I said we're talking about warfare, because the spiritual warfare, I can honestly say on my own life in this past year, 2 years has been rough. And I know it's because of my purpose and what I'm supposed to be doing for Americans right now, and whatever I can help to do to help bring especially the Black community, because we're so behind on the wealth gap. Like, it ain't even funny. I don't even know where to begin, how far we are behind. But if there's a resource there where we could tap into that and help people, like, the devil been coming for me, but I do not claim it. I pray in the name of Jesus. Like, he been trying to take me down from doing this, but God said otherwise. So here we are. I'm senior mortgage loan officer now, and we're about to roll over. We about to do this thing.
Exactly. Yeah, I know. Because Brandon like a sister to me, man. So I know what it's been, and he has been trying to block her in every turn.
Every way.
Yeah. I know. But my thing is this right here. That's like the rear view mirror of the car. Now he's in the rear view mirror because it's moving forward.
Yes, amen.
All gas, no brakes. All gas, no brakes, and that's what it is. That's what it is. Tucson, talk to me, brother.
I'm gonna have to get you, Annie, and my wife together. I need to do that. I
Mm-hmm.
got a question. What about upgrade? If you have a house, everything's in line, but you want to get another, possibly keeping the one you got, using it as a Airbnb or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
but get into a newer model house. How does that look? And then before I go, um, consolidating is there such a thing in
Yes.
bringing all of your bills together, like the car note, the house mortgage, and is there a sum of money that you can come and say, okay, I want to take all of that and just pay one big bill? That's my question.
Brandy. Oh, hold on. Brent, something going on with her feet. There we go. Let me get her back in here. There she
Okay.
go. There she go.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
All
Mm-hmm.
right. There. All right. So yeah, there is a product called the 203B loan. It is a FHA loan that's typically used for buying or refinancing a primary residence, but you can use it to make renovations on your current property. So they're typically go through like, still 15, 30-year mortgage fixed, but it's for your primary residence. You must already live in the home. But you can definitely do that. And I probably would think about, not so much a short-term rental per se, because you got to think about the way that people might not be traveling so much. I think so a lot of people are kind of pulling back on traveling somewhat, as far as that. But and as far as the Airbnbs, a lot of people are going back to hotels and things like that just because of all the substantial fees that go along with doing Airbnb. So long-term housing might be a better option to look at. And then the fact that they are getting rid of Section 8, or I'm not going to say getting rid of Section 8, but limiting how long you're on it. Think about how many people are going to need housing situations because of that. So a multifamily home that you probably actually rent out each individual room long-term would do way better than an Airbnb situation. So you can use a 203B loan to go ahead and do those renovations now, and you only need a 580 credit score.
Okay. Wow, that's good. That's good information to know. Tucson, did that help you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I still got to get y'all together, my wife, because she's trying to. I hadn't done it yet, Annie, but all three of you are. Brandy, right?
Brandy,
Yes,
yes.
Brandy.
Brandy.
Oh Lord. Oh, that's his moment. That's his moment of sunshine. That's his moment of sunshine right there, boy. He get to sing your name. Ain't that something? Annie from Mississippi, talk to me. Annie, you there? Annie, you there? Annie from Mississippi, are you still there? She done stepped away or something. Rico, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
I'm happy to see another beautiful new day of life. How everybody doing today?
Hey, doing good. You been tuned in?
Yeah, I've been listening off and on for a second.
Okay. This new we got Brandy on, man. She's a part of a brand new black-owned throughout credit union here in Austell, Georgia, and they're doing some amazing things. And across the board, man, they're doing everything that your credit union that you think of in your mind is doing. They doing that and more. How does that set with you, Rico? Because that's powerful to me.
Yeah, I love it. I love anything black owned. It means we're trying to have our own to the best of our ability, even though we don't create that dollar. We're still trying to make sure we can manage it on our own. I think was it the Greenwood Bank with Killer Mike them. That's another good thing. But I heard what she said about the credit union being the best institution to try to start building in, and that's great information. It's funny that to some people that's new information, but I knew that in the 90s. That's how I first started my credit, and being the oldest cousin on my maternal side of the family, I passed that down to all of my siblings and all of my relatives.
I
about the credit union being the best way to get you started. The difficulty of getting credit to a bank, getting credit started, how to get signature loans, and different things like that. So, you know, but the thing is, in most cases, people didn't listen. Some cases they did, some didn't, and that's just in my own family. That's not counting people on the outside that I came across, and I was like, hey, man, let me show you a little trick to get your credit started real fast, and I give them a little process, and some would take advantage of it or not. So I think it's a good thing, but I do have a question that it probably should be amongst another show, but this is something that I've been thinking about a lot lately, because I've looked at the, I'll say the Black existence in America before my birth, since I've been here, and what it's looking like for the future. I'm 52 years old, so I ain't, it's like, you know, I'm on the other end of that thing. And I'm starting to question if generational wealth is really a reality for Black people, or is it an illusion like the American dream? And I ask that because I've seen estates from Flip Wilson all the way to Tupac leave a Black family, and go to a white family.
Brandy?
Yeah,
Somehow.
I'm here.
Most of our Black, quote unquote, excellent, successful people seem to lose everything that they built, either by lack of knowledge from the Black people that they left it to, or by manipulation, 9 times out of 10, by the people that created this system we're trying to succeed in. So is generational wealth truly a reality? Just like we thought the American dream, or we still believe the American dream is truly a reality? Or is it an illusion when we start finally trying to kick the door in and we realize that they put more locks on the doors?
It's truly a reality, and I'm gonna tell you why it's a reality, because it's something that I personally witness every day in my personal life. And it's not that I came from that. I actually had to start surrounding myself with that. The black community understands that sometimes you're gonna have to get away from what you used to. You're gonna have to start getting around in different circles of different people and understanding the resources that are in front of you, because sometimes it ain't all about making money. Sometimes it's about learning tax codes and loopholes on how to keep the money that you are making. You know what I mean? It isn't so much of a fact that you're living extravagantly and you make so much money. My best friend makes $100,000 a month. I literally sit there and watch her, you know, and like I said, it depends on your circles and who the people that you are around. Mindsets are everything. Most times what I see with the Black community is because they haven't witnessed it themselves. They're so quick to talk down on somebody else who has the ambition or wanted to, like, you know, like somebody moving out of their hometown, for example. Oh, you ain't gonna make it. You ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna be right back here. I've seen it happen to so many people. And you have to be careful with what you ingest. Another thing of a component of it is that the Black community really does lack a lot of accountability and discipline and consistency to have it. Like, it sounds good. You know, I've dealt with working with people and doing their credit repair for 8 years. And one habit that I see is that they'll come on and they'll eventually fall off because it's not moving fast enough. You have to understand that credit and wealth is not an overnight process. It's not a microwave process. And most people believe in microwave processes because that's just the way that the world is. And you have to understand that anything that is wealth oriented, it has to be built over time. Most people don't even reach a pinnacle of wealth till after the age of like 45, 50. Look at most major CEOs and how old they are. You know what I mean? So that is an extremely amount of time to be delayed gratification. Not, you know, going without, not having the best car, not having, you know, not trying to keep up with the Joneses per se. You know, sometimes you might have to take up, like I said, and most people are so afraid to take a step back over the fact of how they're going to look to their others. Black people, you know, our community, we are so pressed on looking like we have it, that are actually really having it. And, you know, like I said, most people, I live in an RV right now. Most people clowned the crap out of me when I got it, but now I'm making sense. You know, now they're like, oh, you know, because I had foresight way before any of this thing started happening, I was like, yeah, it might be time to go ahead and take a step. I know the power of taking a step back to catapult 3 times forward. What if you go ahead and get you get out of that big house or whatever, minimize your family to an RV, and then you're able to go ahead and put that RV on some land that you actually own, and that you're not paying property taxes to some bank that is taxing you 100 million ways on fees. You know what I mean? Like, you just have to think bigger. And sometimes, like I said, it's going to require you getting out of your comfortability zones, the people that you know, and also taking some accountability and discipline and consistency to apply it to have that wealth. It's possible.
Exactly. And Rico said he wanted to kind of rephrase his question, but I'm gonna say this right here to what you just said, because I totally agree with you. Old man said one time before, he said that if you hanging around 10 broke people, you're going to be the 11th one. If you're hanging around 10 rich people, you're going to be the 11th one. Pick what you want to be, but pick it wisely. Because if you're hanging around broke people, 10 of y'all is broke that you're hanging around with, 9 times out of 10, them 11 and counting. Rico, how did you want to revise your question, brother?
Yes, I guess really the question is, once you attain generational wealth, how is it that you ensure that it stays or remains within your family? How that you can secure that without it going into someone else's hands? Because I still, think about the fact that I've seen so many different estates, black estates, end up in the hands of white people.
Yeah,
that were once in the hands of these black people that had it. And I'm trying to, what are some of the things people need to do to make sure that they could guarantee that it stays in their family?
Is that along the lines of a trust, Brandon?
Yes, absolutely. You know where I was going.
Yeah.
An irrevocable trust, because and that allows you to operate from beyond the grave.
Yeah.
Because when you pass on, that trust is going to continue to say who gets what's allocated to what. And most people don't know that your trust can be set up in some of these tax-free states like Delaware, Wyoming, Nevada, where you're able to kind of, I guess you want to put a shade on your assets, like, so the government's not able to kind of dip in your pockets. If you pass away, your children will not have to go through probate. It's immediate return. Going through a trust. So, and that process can be grueling. So if you want to make sure that your kids, like, most people are leaving behind, wills and things for their kids and stuff, and most of them are like blowing it. They're not, they're going to buy Hellcats and whatever else, after they're passed or whatever. And if you want to make sure that it stays in your family and it continues to stay in your family, a trust, a irrevocable trust, is the way to, and an estate too as well. In combination of both of those will allow you to operate from beyond the grave.
Exactly. 50. Yes. I was just going to come to you too, but I was going to try to say the number first.
Go on.
I was trying to say the number. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. And we have the thrill, honor, and pleasure of having Miss Brandy Green. I got to get used to saying Green again. Brandy Green with us. She done changed the name on us. But they're starting a credit union, a black-owned credit union, totally black-owned, in Astill, Georgia. And it's going all the bells and whistles of any credit union bank that you know of. They're doing it. But not only that, they're helping. And so you definitely need to I'm going to put the information on the screen once more so you can actually have access to what it is. I'm going to let her say it too for you. But you definitely need to register. There's a webinar coming up on next week today. Next week, Tuesday. It's going to be 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You definitely want to be on that webinar.
Yes, you definitely do. If you want to register, like I said, go over to www.beacons.ai/soul-CFCU. If you would like to talk to me or just get on the calendar, please give me a call at 800-404-1143. If I don't answer, please just give me just leave me a message, and I will definitely give you a call back. But if you're having, like I said, credit issues right now, student loans took a toll on you and hit back on your credit report, and you have no idea what to do, and you're in the middle of a closing, whatever the situation is, please let us know what your situation is, because we can help you if you're having credit challenge issues. If your credit cards are maxed out, you don't know what to do with them right now. If you're looking to go ahead and buy a brand new home, if you're looking to do an investment property, you want to do duplexes, business credit, business funding, corporate trading lots, like this is a powerhouse. Like, you know, this merger is the sweetest merger I have ever seen, because the combination of what I had in my business and then the combination of what we're doing with the Federal Credit Union, this will create generational wealth builders. This will create millionaires and billionaires with the programs that we do have available. So yes,
this call is being recorded.
Okay. Now somebody recording the call, but that's okay. Somebody recording it. Annie, you wanted to say something?
Yes, I want to ask Brandy, how long do a person have to be on their job to receive a standard mortgage from y'all?
Typically it's typically always 2 years. And that's if you're going to go the traditional FHA route. But what you're going to find, I bet you I'm willing to bet on it. You're going to see more people entering into non-qualified mortgage programs, because a lot of people went exempt on their taxes and things like that last year with their jobs. So their tax returns are really inconsistent to be able to go into traditional FHA. And that's not everybody's situation, but that was a huge majority of people because they were trying to save money, right? So you're going to probably see more people usher into like things like DSCR loans, which don't require paperwork, and they only require minimum score and how much you're going to put down on the property, and then how the property is going to perform based on if you're going to be doing investment property. That's going to determine how much you're going to be paying in your mortgage. You'll see more people go into bank statement loans, 1099 loans, you know what I'm saying? Because they're not, more people are getting laid off. More and more people, you're going to see more people side hustling, you know, doing their business and stuff like that. And so they're going to have bank statements, but they're not going to have tax return. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not good. They're going to be inconsistent. So, but yes, for traditional FHA, you want to at least be on your job for 2 years, and you don't want to have switched up. Like you didn't want to go from like one major extreme to a next. Like you don't want to be a zookeeper and now you're cutting hair. You know what I mean? Like it needs to still be in the same realms of what you're doing. You know, the same type of field. If we're in HR, you know, you maybe went from HR manager to assistant or something. Yeah.
And they're looking. I think what they're looking for is the stability.
Yes, that's what it's all about.
Yeah. Go ahead, Annie.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So if I was a zookeeper, you know, over here for like a year, I can go to be a zookeeper in another place, and it still counts as 2 years, right?
Yep, and it's still being a consistent. Yep. You still have to account for any gaps of employment or anything like that. But yeah, traditional FHA, they're going to want to see your bank statements, last 2 years tax returns, job stability. Sometimes you might have to have a co-borrower, be ready for that. But if you do have, don't, like I said, don't just usher in with a 580 just because you can. Make that a challenge to try to get it better, because like I said, you're dealing with interest rates and insurance and things like that could catapult your monthly payment way bigger than have you waited and just did a little bit of credit improvement first.
Good deal.
Okay.
Toussaint, what's on your heart, brother?
No, I'm gonna have to apologize. Somebody misplaced my seasoning. I'll be cooking.
Lord.
Y'all caught me in the middle of my conversation.
Well, I'm glad.
This is great though. Go ahead. What'd you say about him?
I'm glad you didn't call it like you called it the last time, but you know we'll get back to that later. Once you didn't get your order right.
Well, yeah. I have a tendency to use that same word my mother used to use. Pepper.
Yeah. And that joke. But go ahead. What's your question, brother?
No, I don't know if the income is kind of stable, and you have a couple that one has both have actually good income, but they just need to bring it all together and just kind of reevaluate where they are to try to make life a little bit more convenient. And I heard you say something about it almost looks like a fresh start.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, and see what I was thinking is sometimes people want to upgrade, but it might be better to downgrade
Mm-hmm.
to get up in the long run. And what
Yeah.
I'm looking at is not so much as for me, but my wife. And so that whenever, because I'm almost off the scene. I might live 100 years, but I'm 10 years older than her,
Mm-hmm.
8. So I'm really looking out for her rather than myself.
Yeah.
So I guess what I'm trying to say is it better for it might be to consider rather than trying to get a bigger house or a newer house, kind of back up like you did.
Right.
And get
Right.
a start
Exactly.
by downgrading. Because
Mm-hmm.
it's just 2 of us. We don't have children
Exactly.
now. So I'm just throwing it out and see what
Mm-hmm.
you have to say about that.
Oh yeah. It was a realization for me last year when we were paying $2,400 in like luxury rent, like in an apartment, and I was like, "What are we doing here? Like, it's not ownership." And so, it was just us and the dog, first. So like, and I'm like, yeah, especially if you're just older, you know what I mean? You can actually. Do you really need that much space? Especially if your kids have left the home and you're an empty nester. Do you think about, do you really need that much space? You can take a step back to catapult forward, but then at the same time, you can leverage your credit to go a couple of steps forward. I see a lot of people, they want to start business ventures or they want to start an additional stream of income, but they really don't know where to start. It's almost like they want to do the things that they've always dreamed of doing. Oh, I always had I wanted a t-shirt shop or I wanted an ice cream, stand, things like that. But they're not looking at the economy and the need right now. Like if you can always figure a way to service people, you will never be a day in your life. I promise you. Because if you can accommodate American need is going to look like right now is someplace to stay. You know what I'm saying? So real estate's going to always be well. And then too, like if you're buying businesses that are already established, this is my hack that I teach to my business credit mentorship program. Most people aren't buying businesses that are already established. Some of us are boomers that are in their 50s and 60s and stuff like that are ushering out of the workplace, but they do not have their businesses. They don't have anybody to hand it down to. So what they do is they go ahead and go through sites like Biz Buy Sell, for example, and they're putting their businesses, their brick and mortar businesses up for sale. And they've already been analyzed by, CPAs, things like that. They've already looked at their finances and credentials to actually see how much money that particular business is generating. So doesn't it make sense to leverage your credit and buy something that you already know what the income is going to be? Or does it make sense to buy something and you shooting in the dark and hoping somebody's going to buy your t-shirts? Exactly. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. You want to go with what's going to make sense right now in where we're at and what the human need is. And like I said, if you find a way to service humans or Americans too right now and what they need, I promise you that is the way to go. So it just depends, but the combination of the both, leveraging and delayed gratification, that's wealth right there, honey. That is wealth. That is the wealth. Yeah. I personally, I'm in an RV right now. I have not had a car in 2 years. I don't care about having a car. I'm somewhat of a digital nomad. I travel the world. If I need to go somewhere, I will take an Uber or I will get in the airport and go there. It depends on your lifestyle. I don't have, my child is grown. He's in his 20s or whatever. He's gone off. He's in LA. Again, it's just me and the dog. You know what I'm saying? It depends on if you're married, you know what I mean? And it's just y'all, consider stepping back. Do you really need all of that space? Like, think about it. That's the closet upstairs right now. When the last time you touched that stuff up in there? I bet you there's some money in there. I bet you there's some money that you could go ahead and put all that stuff on Facebook Marketplace and probably get caught up with a lot of credit card bills. But some people are so, gung on holding on to stuff. You're not even touching it. Yeah. You're not even touching it. Exactly. And downsizing and living in this RV has made me realize personally myself how much I don't need. And if
Mhm.
you're interested in following my RV adventures and things like that, please follow me on TikTok. I do a lot of like content around like living, you know, and my adjustment on that too as well. So you can follow me there, Brandy Janelle on TikTok. But I do a lot of content around that too.
Exactly. Tucson, you say you had another question?
Yeah, you said dream, the thing that you really wanted to do. And just throw this out now. I do it. I have a food program. Okay, we feed the community, but in the community, there's a closed down store. Been closed for years. We have to, when we do the food program, we have to rent a forklift. We have to do some other things to try to get it done. But at the store, there's a dock. The store been closed for years. I'm thinking about combining all of that, get that store so that we can feed the community and have a nonprofit,
Oh
get
yeah.
all of that together. But how does the bank look at that? Or your industry look at it and say, oh, we can help you with that?
Yeah, nonprofits have a different ways too, also of obtaining funding. Like you could go through grant programs and things like that, but pretty much providing a community garden is definitely a way to go right now. So you'll probably find more people inclined to help you financially and through different financing programs to be able to get that done. So yeah, that's a definitely good avenue to go into.
Good deal. Good deal. Leonard, talk to me, brother. Rico, come to you next.
You can go right ahead to the next there, Raheem.
You ain't got no more questions?
No, I'm going to attend that webinar, and I'm looking at the products online.
Okay. Oh, you doing research right now? Okay. Rico, talk to me, brother. Badger, coming to you next.
Man, I love what she's saying, and then she's leading by example. She's in a way speaking about being conscious of not being such a huge wasteful spender. You know, y'all hear me say those words a lot, because the statistics show that we are the biggest wasteful spenders. That means we're not too cost conscious. We have a misplaced value system, and to build generational wealth or to maintain that, I know firsthand. I know people that had potential to do it and what their flaw was, and then people that actually did it. Most of the people that created it, they were practical. I'm gonna say humble. They were more reserved. They sacrificed a lot more. They didn't really worry about having the high price fashion things. They would just get what was necessary. And they would build and build and build. And sometimes you would see these people and they would be dressed plain.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe they have on polo, but it ain't too fashionable. But they don't look like what the view of wealth look like for most Black people anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, that's that I love to see how she said that. I know another woman that's wanting to do the same thing. She's looking for an RV. She wants to be able to travel around. I like that idea of being able to travel around and see different places. You know, she's in a certain place in her life. She's single, and at the same time, it makes more sense. It makes more practical sense.
Yeah.
When you think about where your dollars go.
Mm-hmm.
And so I really love what she's saying, because when you start talking about financial literacy, and you start talking about generational wealth, we do have to understand the part that we play in not being able to attain wealth or get a good credit score. You know, what we do waste our money on. Now, we can't tell people what to spend their money on. True.
Right.
But at the same time, that when there's a statistic that says that you are spending this much amount of money on things that don't mean anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Then it needs to be addressed. You know, well, what are those things? Is this the reason why our schools and our neighborhoods don't have the funding? Is this the reason why the stores in our neighborhood don't have the same quality as the stores in other neighborhoods? There's just so many different things that apply to building generational wealth in your community and in your family. And I fear in a lot of cases with our generational wealth, if you don't have the right mindset in the things that you want to instill in your children, you'll create those that want to spend it more than those
Mm-hmm.
who continue to build it and make sure that they don't lose it. And I think that's where we probably need to get the education, not only on how to build it, but how to raise our children and our family members around us to help us maintain this family wealth, because this is what we built it for.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think too, a lot of people it's a lonely road to walk a generational wealth, because everybody's not going to want to do that. Everybody's want to, like you said, by far, yes, statistically, Black people are the biggest consumers. That's what people are, they depend on that. That's why they market everything to us, and they want us to buy designer and luxury things and stuff like that. But it all depends on what you find valuable. If you look up, most of the time, like women buying like bags and stuff like that, it don't be for other men or whatever. Look, it be like for the, other, to make other women look at and things like that. If you just really think about why people get certain things, you know what I mean? And it's like, are you doing it for yourself, or are you doing it to flash for other people? Because at the end of the day, it's all about your experiences and what you experience in life. Like Raheem said, one of his favorite places to be at the beach. Think about how many people work all year round or whatever, trying to obtain and keep all this expensive stuff, and they don't even get a chance to go to the beach because they're paying $4,000 or $5,000 more either over their head in what they went and got, because they felt like they had to fit the status quo of a big house, big old car, things like that. I haven't felt this, and I've had all of those things before too.
Yes.
Once you've had those things before, it's like, okay, well, I can really live on less, think about how much you consume, and you can really, like I said, find that out if you just sit there and look at everything around you and take an analysis of when the last time you touched it.
Yeah.
When's the last time you used it? Or when's the last time someone needed, like, you be like, I'm gonna keep this, somebody might need, you know what I mean? I might need it. And that stuff you probably could have put on Facebook. I bet you now somebody is sitting in their house with a way to pay all their maxed out credit cards off, because they're just sitting in stuff, hoarding things and materials, you know what I mean? And until you're happy with yourself on like living on less, then you're not going to be able to obtain those types of pinnacles of having generational wealth. But it's there. It's literally there. It's going to take, I would say 90% of it is mindset. The other 10% is just knowing where your resources is at. But a lot of it is just not mindset and initiative. Seriously.
Exactly. Badger.
She said something very key. You have to be cool with living with less, because sometimes I've seen people that live with less, and the outside world would condemn them. Oh man, he doing bad, she doing bad, not knowing that these people don't have a worry in the world.
Good deal. Got to keep it moving. No. Badger, talk to me.
I mean, for me, it's hearing everything that's being said and stuff. That's the key. You have to be disciplined. You have to acknowledge that the American system is not for the faint of heart. It's not. So I hear everything that she's saying, and it's, you have, not only as an individual do you have to learn how to use the system. From what I'm hearing from Randy, if you want the generational wealth to continue, your kids and stuff like that also have to learn it, which means they have to make a choice to be disciplined, and hopefully they'll pass it on to their kids. That's how generational wealth gets lost, is when the education is not passed down, and the discipline and the understanding of how to maintain it is not passed down, you lose it.
Yeah.
Am I wrong with that?
Yeah, you're so right. So if you're able to, like most people, like I said, they stick tablets in front of their kids now. They don't try to teach it, but you got to keep in mind, most of the parents don't know any better either. They didn't teach this in school. You're fighting a system that was never for us. It was never, ever designed. This whole 5-hour work week, this whole working yourself in the ground, this whole never having time for your children or your family or just leisure, period, is not designed for us. We aren't supposed to be, our physical bodies aren't supposed to be tearing ourselves into the ground that much. So what do you, it's like, what do you do at this point? You have to, financial literacy is going to be the key pinnacle of learning what to do, how to do it, and then passing those that knowledge down to the children that's coming up underneath us. And to be honest, some of these children are killing it. They're like, you know, I've seen them on YouTube and these channels and things like that. They're making a lot of money every month, and it's like, hey, maybe you need to go back and teach some adults. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it does all start in the foundation and what you're putting before them, and you have to actually care, because they're not teaching this in school. So you have to find your resources, like I said, and what you're going to see now coming up by them dismantling the Department of Education and things like that, dismantling a lot of school programs and things like that to help them. You're going to see more educators move into the online space, like YouTube, TikTok, and things like that. And they're going to start educating from those standpoints. So yes, go to YouTube University, start learning. You know what I'm saying? Start implementing, use Chat GPT, start educating yourself, start asking it questions. The more questions you ask Chat GPT pertaining to financial literacy, it will start to curate itself. The AI will start to curate itself around the way that you think. And it will start to produce more and more answers and things on how you can get things done. So most people aren't utilizing, like I said, where we're headed. They're still stuck back in like 1950 and 60 on how we're supposed to be doing things. And it's just not it. But yeah, you're right, Badger. Like you gotta definitely teach the children, because they're the next ones coming up. And if it's going to continue, it has to be that way.
So I brought up what I brought up because quite a while back on the show, I think last time I talked about this, Raheem, might have been over a year ago. I'm white skinned, but I'm also a half-blood Native American. And I was brought up always being told that I had less privilege, which a lot of people didn't even know that that's taught in poor white communities, because we're not a minority. Do you feel that there are a lot of times where I'm going to say the isms are used to keep us distracted from learning what you've learned?
Yes, there's distractions everywhere. If you think about it, and if you think about it too, every time we start to learn something, the goalpost is moved. That's why you got to stay on top of, but everything is coming against you to help there be a distraction. Every single component to just from what we're seeing, what we're surrounding ourselves around, what we're ingesting. I mean, even from the way, think about it. I just saw an article this week about even the things that we eat is causing ADHD in people. So if you're not familiar, ADHD can cause you to be in, functional freezes, not producing, actually doing more escapism than actually learning. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you're seeing people like now scrolling online for hours and stuff like that. Time like they said, so y'all, every little ism is definitely a distraction. It's by design too. You know what I mean? It's there to keep you from learning this, learning financial literacy, learning your different resources, and what they've got to have consumers, right? Yes, capitalism has to have consumers. So it's what can I do to keep y'all as consumers? I'm gonna feed, I'm gonna feed you everything that's gonna distract you mentally, emotionally. I've never seen so many people just can't focus. You know what I mean? It's a distraction.
Exactly.
So at the end of the day,
Badger, we got to move on, brother. 508-924. You trying to make it a one-on-one conversation? 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Now, Brandon, let's go back to the beginning and talk about the webinar just a little bit to catch everybody up to speed. Maybe people that has just come on. Tell them about the webinar again.
Yes, Soul Community Federal Credit Union will be hosting a Financial Foundation Warfare Series webinar starting on next Tuesday in a week, May 20th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It will be led by keynote speakers Dr. Alexander Bedell, which is the head of the commercial and residential division at the credit union, and also Minister Bathsheba Francis. We are all mortgage loan officers. Bathsheba is an ordained minister, but we are going to be pretty much talking about financial and spiritual warfare, because that is what we are experiencing right now in this world with these world tariffs, the home values jumping up and down, interest rates, mortgage loans, and what the forecast looks like for our financial future, because it's something you definitely want to tune into, especially if you are like, hey, I don't know where we going, where we headed. You might want to tune in. You might want to tune in.
Now, this is a totally black owned credit union.
Yes.
Yes. Tell them about that part. Make sure you.
So this is a totally black owned credit union. It isn't just a bunch of mortgage loan officers that got together and say, hey, we're having a bank. The owners, the actual owners of the credit union, it is federally licensed. They do have their own financing in-house. We are currently going through a program and getting licensed we are already licensed to do mortgages in all 50 states. So if you're on the line and you're wanting to do a purchase or a refinance, please get in contact with us. You could go over to quickfastrefinance.com is the quickest way to go ahead and get an application started on a new purchase or either a refinance. But the fact that we do a lot of the funding in-house, like it's not outsourced to anyone else. Like the people that own, the black people that own the bank, they're in Africa right now. They just went over there to do some like mission work, but they're coming back like they literally have the whole thing in-house, and it has an actual physical location. It is in Austell, Georgia. It is located actually over on the building over there. I think it was the police officers are in that building, but it's 5000 Austell Powder Springs Road, Suite 309, but it's over in Austell, Georgia. And so this is a brand new, like I said, credit union, and it is all black. So that is amazing. And we are, like I said, we are on a mission to try to change what is going on in the atmosphere in the United States as far as helping people build generational wealth and using real estate to do that, to leverage it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Toya with a T. Good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. How y'all doing?
Hey, doing good. We just gave you an earful, Toya. What did you just hear?
Something that we should have did a long time ago, black-owned credit union.
But it's here now. Here now. So how does that make you feel? Okay, it's here now. Absolutely.
I've been talking about stuff like that since COVID. They've been putting out information on how we can do that and stuff like COVID. And every time we get together, we're going to get together and do something, and we don't get together and do it. So it's great. Finally, someone decided to do what's necessary. Good job. It takes more than one. It takes resources, just like them. It takes things to get it moving. So I'm glad. Thank you, Lord. I already knew that all of this stuff was just a way to push black folks to greatness. You got to want it. Starve them, make them hungry. Maybe they'll be willing to go out there and do it. Keep sending them through trials and tribulations, because when the pain gets great enough, they'll get up and do it. We need more. Don't stop now. I'm sorry. I'm a different kind of person. I dropped out of high school. When I got my bachelor's, that didn't impress me. I didn't go to my graduation. That didn't impress me. You should have been did that. Don't be walking around here, walking across the face. Oh, yeah, I finally got it at 42. Lady, you should have been got that. And I don't expect kudos for something that I should have already done. I don't look for kudos from anybody for something that's a part of my business, a part of a legacy. We walk around talking about, oh, we can't do this, we can't do that. Think on the system, think on this, think on that, think on this. And we still go pick up that Monopoly board and play on it. I'm elated that people got together and done this. Just like the black people that got together and bought the land in South Georgia and built their houses. It's like I'm elated that black people are starting to stand up. Let's go. It's about time. Excuse me if I don't have that, oh, yay, attitude. Don't be overdue. It's 2025. Martin and Malcolm have been dead since 1960. We've been slaves 400 years ago. I'm sorry. Great thing, but I'm not impressed. We need this across every state. You need one in every state, every city, every small county, every town. Let's go.
Good deal.
This is what I'm talking about. This is what they do. This is what we shop. This is where we buy it. And the only way to correct the problem is to make sure we keep the money in-house. And now that we have a place like this is how we keep the money in-house, and we grow from the inside instead of being needy, expecting for them to deliver us.
Good deal. K with an E. Talk to me, sis.
I'm listening. Look, I'm sharing. That's what I'm
Okay, you sharing the information?
I was sharing.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's awesome. And like I said, it's, can't do nothing but go up. Because God do everything but fail us.
Mm-hmm.
And for you to be this for y'all to be this for, God is in it. So don't
Absolutely.
leave him out. As
Absolutely.
long as you keep him in it, you don't have to worry about failing.
Mm-hmm.
When you know he's talking to you, when you take a step back, that's God stepping you back.
Mm-hmm.
Not right now. I got something bigger, better. This
Mm-hmm.
what you wanted. Let me show you what I got for you. When you
Exactly.
take that
Wow.
step back, that's God. He just be showing them, I got something for you. Everybody, when you gonna go buy a car? When God tells me to go buy a car, I ain't in no rush to get no car. I get everywhere I need to get, and I don't have to ride the share fare. I have a free lift,
Mm-hmm.
free
Good deal.
wherever I want to go.
Wherever you want to
Ain't
go.
nothing but God.
Mm-hmm.
Wherever I need to go, it don't cost me a dime.
That's
That
good.
ain't nothing but God.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
So that it's not, it's going up. And so all of us that's on here and all the listeners, this is your opportunity. That they always say, we don't never get an opportunity. We get opportunity, we get chances every morning. He wakes us up and our feet is above the dirt. And we didn't get no bad news last night. That's another opportunity and that's another chance to get right with him. Because if you get right with him, this is where he'll take you. Look where Brandy is.
Good deal. Good deal. Let's keep
God
this
took
thing
her
going.
through.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's keep this thing going. Let me go to Tucson. Talk to me, brother.
Yeah, I just would like to commend you for your efforts. A lot of times we see each other going in the right direction and we post salt on it.
Mm-hmm.
That gets on my ever loving nerves.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to commend you and thank you for joining and giving us a whole bunch of helpful information. Nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh,
And
real quick, Ryan, too. I want to slide in because Alex just texted me too. He said, please remind everybody that we don't have any minimum credit score and your DTI can actually be all the way up to 65%. So definitely want to go to Quick Fast Refinance. If it's new purchase, even if it's new purchase, you still can get in there to do that. But Badger asked what DTI is. That's your debt to income ratio. So most people, their credit, like for example, the country is in a 1.4 credit card crisis. That means that everybody's credit card is maxed out. That will tend to have your DTI over 65%. You could log into your credit monitoring and you could see what actually your DTI is. Like if it says it's like 80 or 90, that's really high. That means that you need to pay down some credit cards or things like that. I do know some programs that do credit card consolidation where you could actually still use the credit cards and not close them. I know most debt consolidation loans will have you require you close the account and they pay them off. Well, we do have some resources where you can still keep them open. So like I said, definitely you want to attend, either jump on my calendar or call me. But yeah, debt to income is that's what keeps people from qualifying for houses. It ain't really so much credit score, it's the DTI. If your assets are less than what your expenses are, that can knock you out the box. So it has to be a balance. So we will accept anywhere up to a 65%, and that's a huge threshold because most people want you at least like 35, and under.
Good. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Man, it's a wealth of information. And Brandy, I definitely appreciate you coming on with us and sharing this information and sharing the information about the webinar. And it's going to help a lot of people across the board. And see, my thing is you don't have to be. Let me tell y'all something, because we broadcasting globally right now. We all over the world. We all over the world right now, be it internet or Roku TV and different things. We all over the world. People are hearing us all over the world right now. And I want to say to each and every one of you, you don't have to be in Georgia. You do not have to be in Georgia for this to work and to work for you.
Yep. California, New York, Oklahoma, it don't matter. All 50 states.
Jamaica. No, I don't know if y'all.
Hey, but you know what Brandy can help you do if you're interested in leaving the country, which a lot of people are.
Yes.
I can help you though with the income resources by leveraging your credit and either building a business credit so that you can do that. So you still need to come talk to me, whether you're trying to live here or not.
Because a lot of people ready to get up out of here.
Yeah. I'm looking at dual citizenship myself. I ain't even gonna lie to you. You know me. I'm a world traveler though. I like to go. So so there I do have resources for people that are looking to leave too, and also funding too. That's something that I perform too, is helping people get the money.
I got a few of my friends live over there in Thailand, and they told me to come on over there.
Yeah.
They say, Raheem, you missing the boat, brother. Come on over here to Thailand. They doing very, very well for themselves. I got 3 or 4 good friends that moved to Thailand. Been over there for years now. They ain't just go last week. They've been over there for years. And they say, look at here, Raheem, you need to come on over here, man. You and your wife come on over here. I got my passport. I'm really considering it. But
Becky said being autistic makes it a little bit different than the chat. Yeah, you'll be surprised at how much health resources that they have outside the country. It's the America that's messed up. It's America where you can't tap into the health system to get help. Most people that left the country and they're living somewhere, most of their ailments left them. You'd be surprised how many people you talk to and they be like, oh, I had, eczema and I had this or whatever. And now that I'm getting sunlight and this every day, it's gone away. Like I'm talking about stuff that they've been battling with for decades. It's just gone now. You just don't know how much stress and pressure that America puts us under to have us underneath these ailments.
and what are they putting in your food?
That part too. And you're living a healthier life. You're walking around, you're getting more exercise. So naturally people are having better lifestyles by leaving the country.
Exactly.
Like I said, but you can still create that same heaven on earth in America. Like I said, it's about your mindset, because like what I'm paying right now, my RV is still about the same that I would be paying out of the country. You know what I'm saying? It's just a little bit over $1,000. You can get rent for some places as little as $300 or $500 in Thailand and in different places. So again, it's just about what you want to do. But if you are looking for the resources, funding, how can I have an income over there? You need to talk to me.
And a lot of time, I'm gonna tell y'all something. We got to go to Annie from Mississippi because she got a question as well. But I'm gonna tell y'all something. They told me, now they say they live over there in Thailand. They say, Raheem, what you paying for your light bill, you can live like a king over here. Light bills sometimes anywhere from $200 to $500. Sometimes my light bill be right at $500. Take that $500, move it to Thailand. You ain't. They say we ain't even gonna talk about what you're paying for your mortgage, just what you're paying for your light bill. You can live like a king over here.
Hey, Raheem.
Yeah.
I looked up the price of Sprite in Thailand.
Yeah.
Because my son was a friend was over there talking about he moved over there. He's living good. So I looked it up. Sprite was 25 cents. I was like, oh my God.
See what I mean? See what I mean? Come on now. Now when the last time man, look at here. Man, Annie from Mississippi, talk to me. Y'all gonna have me acting outside of myself today. Annie from Mississippi, talk to me.
Yeah, I want to ask her. Where we talked about wealth, not wealth. We talked about credit repair. Let's talk about how young people who plan on buying a home in the near future, how they can build their credit up. And I ask because I have a 20-year-old granddaughter and a 21-year-old granddaughter. And they definitely want to buy their own home by the time they reach 25. So one of my questions to you is, what are the things that they can do to build that credit? Now, I've been told that you can get a gas card and keep it for a moment, and that will make your credit go up real high. So can you talk about that for a little while, Brandy?
Yeah, absolutely. It actually too can start with the parents. If you have good credit, you can add them as an authorized user very early on. I do have a chart. I think some of them, I think it depends on the company, like American Express or whatever. You can add them as young as 12 and 13 years old. And then by the time that they mature, and again, they're not accessing your card by doing this. They're not using up your credit. Now, when you add them as an authorized user, you're going to keep that card in the drawer for them, or either you could cut it up, but they're just piggybacking off of your good credit history by doing that. So you don't, of course, you want to make sure you're paying on time, but by the time that they graduate high school or getting ready to go into college, they're going to already have an optimized credit score to be able to go ahead and get a apartment, car, whatever, that they want, because you went ahead and did that. Another thing too, like you said, if like a little gas card, if they are 16 or something driving around now, You could go ahead and get them a little gas card. You can also do that gas card on a business for them. Go ahead and establish them an LLC, and then that way they'll already have established business credit as well if you want to use the gas card. And a secure card will always be king. A little $300, $500 card, instead of buying them some $300 shoes, put that $300 on a card. Make them pay their gym membership through it. Make them pay their car note through it. Yeah. And then not their car note, their phone bill, because I know all these kids got phones. So make them pay at least that every month and get in the habit of paying that off through their little job. And I promise you, by the time they're in high school or going into college, they're going to have almost close to an 800 credit score.
Now, explain to the people the difference. Explain to people the difference between a secure and an unsecured. I'm coming back to Yanni. I'm sorry about that. Explain to them the difference between a secured and an unsecured credit card.
A secured credit card is when you're putting up your own money towards the balance. And then once it matures, like you've made at least 6 months of on-time payments, the bank will normally, like if you do it like through Discover or Capital One, which have some of the best secured cards on the market, for example, especially for young people, by the time it's 6 months in, they'll go ahead and give you that deposit back. Let's say you did $200 or $300 on, they'll go ahead and give you that $200 or $300 back and then graduate you over to a unsecured card. So that at that point, that's when you start to get credit limit increases and things like that. They might go ahead and give you $1,000 now, because you started with that $200 or $300. A big hack too, if you want to go ahead and start building a relationship with a bank, is to go ahead and get their secure card product and prove to them that you can make on-time payments. That's going to help usher you into better mortgages, loan approved, personal loan approvals, auto loan approvals, and things like that. It's all about relationship. And I will say this: try to stay away from a lot of these I like to call them predatory credit card lenders, like like the ones that have huge percent interest rates, First Premier, Destiny Card, Credit One or whatever. Try to stay away from them, and try to go for some, like I said, the ones that are actually belong at a credit union, because what you don't know as an underwriter, as I'm an underwriter, right? Because I look at mortgages, but as an underwriter, I can tell you what they look at. They look to see if you're desperate enough to go get a card like that, or if you're disciplined enough to go the gusto and build it correctly. I'm telling you, they look at that more than just your credit score nowadays.
Absolutely. 508-924-3521, 508-924-3521. We have the thrill, honor, and the pleasure of talking to Ms. Brandy Janelle. I'm gonna say Brandy Green. I gotta get used to using that name. Man, I've been knowing her for quite a while, man. As a matter of fact, she used to be a part of the Morning Glow quite a few years ago. Then she started traveling and just left us behind. But she and I talk about that off air. I'm surprised she didn't say nothing, but anyway, I was waiting on some comeback. But yeah, they're actually have started a black-owned credit union in Austell, Georgia, doing everything, all the bells and whistles, how they say the thing, they are FDIC, they have all that, so you ain't got to worry about your money getting lost. They have all that insurance, everything is in place. It's a real legitimate credit union that is totally black owned. They're having a webinar next week Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we have a link. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna put the link back up here where you can actually go and register for that particular webinar. And there's a wealth of information that's coming forward. I appreciate it, and I hope and I pray that you do as well. Brandy, what's on your heart?
I'm just really excited. You know, this will get me going. It's like my meme says. So I just love teaching people, and I love helping people to understand, because again, a lot of people just don't know the resources that are before them. So I love to be able to educate people about the resources, the loopholes, what wealthy and affluent people do, as far as just strategies and things like that I could take back to our community. So I've loved this morning. It's been absolutely amazing, and the questions have been amazing too. So I'm just excited. I'm excited to help people this year and beyond.
And I know a lot of people are excited about being able to be helped, because a lot of people want to get out of the situation that they're in, and they didn't really see a way out.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, this is your way out. This could very well be your way out. Take advantage of it. Take advantage of it. Rico, talk to me, brother. Rico, you there?
I tell you one thing I love most about this conversation, man, is I love her enthusiasm as she's talking about this. I wish more people had this enthusiasm and this interest in what she's talking about, because they want the outcome of what she's speaking of. Everybody wants that same outcome, that wealth. But if you listen to what she's saying, it's a lot involved with it. It's a lot of work involved, a lot of discipline, and it's fast paced. You know, I heard people mention about how the goalposts are moved and how it wasn't meant for us. You know, these different things, these obstacles that we have to overcome. It's a full-time job.
Yeah.
It's a different job than the 5-hour or the 8-hour work week. You know, but that you put that along with it, and I'm wondering, how is it that you find how is it that you maintain your spiritual balance? You know, I know you have it because you were able to sacrifice and what you say, downsize. You know, when you notice that in somebody, you know, you do understand that they have found a balance. They understand how to maneuver in that fast-paced world that we live in, that to succeed in it. But they also understand how to not get consumed by it. So how do you keep from being consumed by it? Because most people are consumed by it. And then I have a second question, because you talked about change and older people not wanting to change. And, you know, in our society, Black society, a lot of times Black people didn't listen or believe it unless a white person told them. That's another way we lose our generational wealth. It's been hard for me to get my mom to listen to some of these things that you've been talking about. Because she's never been really involved on the financial end of things. My stepfather was, and he passed away. And so it's like, she really just sat back and just, you know, let him handle all the business, so to speak. How is it that you get through to people that really still are stuck on the old ways of doing things, because if it ain't broke, don't fix it?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad you asked me that. Let me just give you a little synopsis of things that I just been through in this past couple of years, and how I had the fortitude to make it through. I've lived a pretty much very public life in this past 2 or 3 years. Raheem knows I had a husband, and we were on a path to build generational wealth. I am now divorced as of last year, but I had to go through a very public humiliation of sorts, you know what I mean, as far as like in an online space, because we have built our life in front of an audience. And I had to deal with, you know, his family, you know, looking at, you know, and they still watching me, and, you know, my family, it's a lot of different things. And then my brother passed away, God bless his soul. My only, you know, baby brother, he had a horrific motorcycle accident, got ran over by an ambulance. You know, my son, you know, he was having issues and things like that as far as depression and drugs. So he's dealing with rehab right now. And I'm going to tell you, the only thing that has really, truly kept me has been the Lord. Like, if you do not have a fortitude to believe into him, and knowing that anything that he is taking you through is to grind you and to make you, just don't know what he has for you on the other side of why he's taking you through these things in order to grind you. Like anything, like you grind iron against iron, right, to make it sharp. You know what I mean? So God is going to give you tests and trials and things like that. I mean, these things have literally like broken me, or at least you would think they should have broken me. Because a lot of people like, how are you still showing up for yourself? Like, I had no idea you were going through that. Because I wake up every day with the intention of, God, I'm in your image. I'm here to serve my people. And whatever you have before me, that's just what it's gonna be. And my faith in God is so strong, and that's what keeps me doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yes, absolutely.
And when it comes to your loved ones and your family and things like that, I've had to leave pretty much everybody behind. It is a lonely walk. I ain't gonna lie to you. And a lot of people, if you're not mentally strong, that's why they can't do it. That's why they can't do it. And it's because they don't want to leave nobody behind. They want to take everybody with them. You're gonna have to sometimes, what Kendrick say, you got to pull up and show them. You know what I mean? Sometimes you're gonna have to go ahead of them and go ahead and do it yourself. And then now they're gonna come along. That's normally how people think. they want to see it first.
Yeah.
They want to
You
see
know.
what you, okay, well then you go ahead first or whatever you do it, then I'm gonna come along. It is like that with your elders, and it maybe some of you are like wanting to relocate out of the country, you want to do that, you might go ahead and have to do that and just go ahead and get it and then let them see. Then you can go ahead and bring your mama and your grandma on and stuff like that later. I'm seeing a lot of people having to do that. The family compound situation, a lot of families can't get along on it, and that would be an excellent resource for a lot of families right now to go ahead and get on one page and just have a big old strip of land and everybody living on it, pop up some Amazon houses, store it, whatever. You know, and just have that as a family compound. But oh no, you know, we don't want to live too far. Just go ahead and start it. Just go ahead and get the land.
Yeah.
You don't have to start building, just get the land. If you make one step forward, I promise you, people will start to follow you. And like I said, it's about leading by example. And there you go.
And sometimes you got to take that lead. And you know why, Brandon? Sometimes you got to take that lead. I'm gonna tell you why.
Yep.
They not like us. They not like
us.
Exactly.
Kendrick said it.
Yeah. They not
Kendrick
like
said it. But
exactly.
you definitely, you just have to have, I mean, and the thing about it though, every time I let go of something, God promoted me 10 times more than I imagined. Like I just let go of a recent relationship again, like after my marriage, like I just recently, I promise you in this month have let it go. And I got this promotion at the credit union.
Wow.
And my God, I just was like, I see what you're doing, God. Okay. If this is what it's going to take, what else I got to lose? Come on. You know, like take it away. That prayer, that removal prayer is a Rico sweep. Whatever it is, take it away. Whatever's going to promote me and whatever's going to help me to live within my purpose, Lord, take it. You know what I'm saying? Be okay with losing things. Be okay with taking a step back to take a step forward. Most people are so afraid to lose things and people and materials. I promise you, every time I have lost it or gave it up on purpose, I got 10 times back in return, 100 times back in return.
And sometimes I tell people all the time, God got 3 ounces, man. Yes, no, or not right now.
Yes.
And then not, then not right now could very well be because of the fact that I'm not going to bless the company that you're in.
Yes.
I have a blessing for you, but I'm not going to give it to you until you remove yourself from the company that you're in.
Because God saw those conversations that was going on behind your back. God seen what their intent was for you. And he is not going to leave you or forsake you into somebody that has ill intent for you. So sometimes you got to be okay with that no. And sometimes it's going to look like your spouse. And sometimes, you know what I'm saying, that might be the enemy in your life. I promise you. Because for me, it had been. I didn't know I needed to walk. I thought I needed a husband, and that still might not be my future. It still might be a husband for me. You know what I'm saying? But you got to be okay with what right now. Either you say is yes, no, or not right now.
Exactly. We got a caller from the 404 area code. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Snow calling from Georgia. Snow in Georgia.
Hey, Snow in Georgia. How you doing?
I'm all right. I'm just on the line listening. I was referred to you all.
Okay, good deal. Well, good to have you. Definitely good to have you. And if you have a question, let me know, and I'll come back to you. Tucson, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me. Oh, I'm sorry. I said I was gonna go to Badger too. Badger, I'm coming to you next. I apologize, brother. Go ahead, Tucson.
I just heard her say land. I came back on and I heard her say land. For the family.
Yes, sir.
Not just you, but for the family. And what do you tell me a little bit about that? Because what we think about is a lot. I'm thinking more about acres and acres.
Yes.
So, what's your thoughts on that?
You say you think about okra.
Yeah. I think about it too.
You know, you can plant okra. You can plant okra since you see that in.
You sound like me. I'm
exactly.
Yeah. I'm a country girl. I think, you know, my roots is my parents from Mississippi, so I'm always, you know, been interested in farm life, you know, homes and things like that. But if you're really interested in that, a good resource is to go to realtor.com and go ahead and filter your settings down to land and either farms with houses on them, because you can go ahead and get a lot of financing to go ahead and start a family compound. And you can also think in this aspect too, if you buy the acres, it doesn't necessarily have to be a construction home. It could be a modular home. It could be a tiny home. It could be an Amazon, you see what I'm saying? An Amazon pop-up home. Anything that you can do, or RVs, you know what I'm saying? You can start the RV part. Anything can still be in the implications of a family compound. And there's so many ways to skin it, as far as like the different types of property that you set up, the different type of funding that is available for those different things. Because like I said, people are making houses out of sheds now.
Yeah.
People are making houses out of what do you call them? Those containers or whatever, those container homes. Also commercial buildings that I see in their turn. You got to just think about, just got to think bigger. You know what I mean? Think about beyond the traditional way that we've been doing things. A lot of people are turning a lot of different ways into housing, and it's not expensive to start. Sometimes you can get a lot of this land cheap, land banks, things like that. You could go in with other investors too as well, on different returns if you're trying to do a business. But I have always been interested in the family compound structure because, yes, you can have a garden, community garden. Everybody could grow. Everybody can have resources. You can provide those resources to the community. That's an income source. If you got eggs and milk and, you know what I'm saying? We say okra, tomatoes, you can sell that to the farmer's market. You know, there's a community out here, I think it's the Farmers of Florida, but they have a whole website and they just sell boxes of produce. And a lot of people want that right now because they can't get, produce that don't age past 2 days in the store right now. You know what I mean? The tomatoes go bad immediately when you buy them because they got so much stuff on them. So,
and we're gonna talk about, we're gonna talk. Well, I got Granddad to do it tomorrow, so we're gonna do a rebroadcast tomorrow. So everybody, we'll do a rebroadcast tomorrow. But I want to talk about Thursday about why, and it's a crazy question, but why isn't there any flies on the vegetable, fruit and vegetables inside the grocery stores? There's a reason behind that now.
Yeah.
There's a reason.
And then why is it? I don't know about y'all, but I buy fruits and vegetables. Why are they not lasting like they used to? I mean, if you don't cook it up in 2 days, it's done for.
Yep. What are they putting on that food? You gonna go to I'm gonna tell you something. You got fruit and vegetables outside, regular fruit and vegetables out. You go a garden. You ain't gonna be able to keep them flies and stuff away from him. Now, but you got it in the grocery store, and you go in the grocery store, you go up and down the aisle, man, the fruit and vegetable aisle, man, and you pick what you want. You ain't a fly in sight. They can get inside the store like you can get inside.
Nothing, no insects crawling on it no more. I mean, it's just changed. There's no seeds in the watermelon no more. It's
I'm telling you. And see, that's the thing that people don't take time to look at. They go in there, it's convenient. They go in the stores. Oh, it's so nice and clean. It's so pretty. And they look at the fruit and vegetable, man. They're looking so nice. They don't spray the little water on it. Got the little misty machine coming out and make it look make it look sultry. Man, listen, it's supposed to be some flies on that stuff, man. It's supposed to be some flies on it. But anyway, Badger talked to me.
She said something earlier that sparked a big fire in me. Her obedience to Yahweh.
Yeah, that's a huge part of it. Like my day is so structured. Like you would think, just by me working for myself, I probably stay in bed till not. No, I get up, I do my 10,000 steps, I get my coffee. Like it has to be routine. It has to be consistency in your life and also discipline to see it through. It sucks sometimes, you want to go out and you want to take this trip and you want to do this and stuff like that. Delayed gratification has really gotten me extremely far. Like I said, taking a step back has catapulted me a couple of steps forward where, now I can go off with my girlfriend for a weekend somewhere or something like that, because I took a step back, you know what I mean? So you have to think about just where can you show up and apply the discipline in your old life. Maybe it's their routine of exercise you haven't started yet. You bought them weights or whatever and you didn't pick them up since, you know what I mean? Or that water you say you're going to start you supposed to drinking a gallon of water every day. Where is that at? You know what I mean? The discipline starts in small steps and then it gets to the bigger steps.
Exactly. And Badger.
No, I had more, but she cut me off.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I just didn't want to interrupt her.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Badger. I'm
sorry. Because what I was hearing and what I've heard everything about what you've been sharing today is how Yahweh's been a part of every single step. You've constantly gave glory to Yahweh. You've stayed away from greed. And all of those types of things, which is something that you don't really hear in our American society.
Mm-hmm.
And I thank you so much for being a servant, for being a vessel, and acknowledging the glory of God.
Yes, absolutely.
And I just
Abs-
don't want that to be overlooked for anyone listening or anything, because you're an example. You're another example of what walking in an obedience mindset can do, not just for self,
Mm-hmm.
but the accountability to others.
yes.
Absolutely. Good deal. Good deal. Brandon, you want to comment on that before I go? I want to see whether
Yeah. I
go ahead.
just want to say, if you're looking for that inspiration to get to walk on that path of discipline with the Lord, it's gonna take you getting tired of you. It's gonna
Mm-hmm.
honestly take you accountability of getting tired of you. You can't be a woman, and I see a lot of women, and I speak from a woman standpoint, want to blame for her for all the failures, all the men that, hey, but you chose them, girl, you probably saw
Mm-hmm.
some red flag, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to take accountability over the decisions and the choices that you made in your life. And then one day you're gonna wake up and be like, you know what, I'm getting tired of myself. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
change this. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Nobody else is gonna change that for you besides you. You know what I mean? Nothing else. And sometimes things, can happen in your life though, can be the catalyst for that. Like for me, it was my divorce, my brother dying. You know what I mean? Being a little bit misplaced and have to rearrange around behind a divorce, things like that, losing everything.
Mm-hmm.
But me losing everything was like, hey, did I really even need that? I lost my house and my car. I was like, did I even really need that? And so
Yes.
when I started back rebuilding, this is what it looked like now, living on less or whatever with an RV. I don't really need a car. I work from home. Do I need a car right now? No, I don't need
Mm-hmm.
that. You know what I mean? So sometimes events and take that, whatever I would say, discord that's going on in your life, and use that as a catalyst to get up and make a change and
Mm-hmm.
walk a life of discipline with the Lord.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Man, I'm looking at the clock. We got about 6 minutes before we get out of here. Tell them again before we leave all the information about the webinar that's coming up and how they could be a part of that, as well as the credit union.
Yes, absolutely. If you're just tuning in or just tuning into it, it's Soul Community Federal Credit Union. It is a all-black credit union located in Atlanta area, in Austell, Georgia. We do service all 50 states. As far as new purchases, refinances, it's going to be more than mortgage though. Like I said, auto loans, banking, just all traditional credit union banking. But our event coming up is going to be the Foundation of Financial Literacy series, and this is going to be the first of many webinars that we do. But we're going to cover, again, world tariffs that's going on, the financial and spiritual warfare that everybody is experiencing right now, different home values and mortgage loans that are across all 50 states, and what our financial future is going to be looking like. And it's going to be held by, I'm the host, but our keynote speakers are going to be Dr. Alexander Bedell. He is the head of the commercial and residential division over at Soul Community, and also Minister Bathsheba Francis. She is also a mortgage loan officer, and she is ordained minister. So you're going to be in for a treat as far as understanding the financial and spiritual landscape that we are going on right now in 2025.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let me go to our Man Show. Man Show, do you have any questions and or comment? Man Show, are you there? Okay. Tucson, talk to me, brother.
No, I just want to thank her again. I mean, it's been said it's time,
Mm-hmm.
and if we don't do it for ourselves, I definitely know that ain't nobody else gonna do it.
Absolutely.
We stop waiting on other folks, waiting to see what they gonna do, to see how we gonna turn out. The devil is a lie.
Come on.
So
Exactly.
again, thank you.
Good deal. Anybody have anything real quickly, 1 minute max, that they want to say before we get out of here? Anybody?
I love what she said about the community being grounded. You know, I go back and I mentioned that Amish model a lot, and that's sort of where it goes along with how they produce more than they consume. And
Mm-hmm.
it's just a breath of fresh air to hear Black people speak about that. And the reason why I asked that question about her maintaining her spiritual balance is because when I first called in, I was being overwhelmed because, like I said, this is a fast-paced thing, trying to maintain moving with that shifting goalpost, but at the same time staying grounded enough to not get so lost and consumed in it to where you get ADHD or you're getting stressed out. You lose your weight and you have to start downsizing or pulling back. So I asked that question because I started feeling overwhelmed. Because that really is what it is. You know, older people, it's overwhelming to them, especially if they've never been involved in it. Seeing the new way that it operates, it would be overwhelming. They'd rather not be bothered. So I asked that question about her maintaining that spiritual balance because I needed to hear that side of it. It was I ain't gonna even say it was frustrating, but when I first called in, I was like, "Ooh, this is a lot for this early in the morning." And that's really what you have to keep in mind the entire time that you're trying to maintain in this system that we're surviving in. It's a lot to take in.
Yeah.
And you have to then obedient. Badger asked some great questions. Everybody asked great questions, man. I appreciate her for coming on. The answer she gave was things that people needed to hear, and man, congratulations on doing what you're doing. I support it wholeheartedly.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Anybody else, real quickly? 1 minute. Brandy, the floor is yours. Sis. Anything in your closing?
Just I appreciate all the questions. They were really excellent questions today, and I really appreciate the floor, Raheem, too, as well as usual, giving me a spot today to be able to speak to everybody, because I felt like it was very important for me to come to this platform, especially we're talking about spiritual warfare, and how that ties in with your finances, and like I said, what the resources. I just see a lot of people that need help. You know what I'm saying? And so, what can we do to help people? So I really appreciate the platform and the floor, and to be able to the opportunity to be able to show up this morning.
Good deal, and always a pleasure having you. Now don't be no stranger. Now we
can keep it. Yeah, you can still hit me with the link. I'll come on with the topics now. You know, it don't have to always be financial mortgage. I'm gonna talk to y'all. You know, so yeah, definitely. I'll still jump on in the morning with you for sure.
Now, because you've been family for a long time, so
and I might be moving back to Atlanta. You know, we don't know yet. I mean, I'm down here by this water in Clearwater, so it's hard. It's hard. Like I said, I will be leaving the water. So
now, how close are you close to Tampa? How close are you to Tampa?
Yeah, I live in Clearwater Beach. That's why I said I'm living my dreams right now. I'm at RV near the Clearwater Beach. It's just me and my dog, and yeah, I'm living the life. So that's why I said it might be hard. What I might do is fly to Atlanta a lot.
There you go. But we're gonna be my wife and I. We're gonna be in Tampa next month. We're gonna be in Tampa.
Okay, well, hit me up because so Tampa Clearwater is still the same area. It's still the same area.
We're going on that cruise, so we're gonna leave out of Tampa. We coming in that Friday. Gonna stay all day Friday. Going on the cruise on Saturday, and we're gonna be out 5 days. Then we're gonna come back that Thursday and stay 2 more days in Tampa.
Let's do dinner or something. Yeah,
absolutely. Let's make it happen. Make it happen. And now I'm about to do the pledge. Anybody that's gonna say the pledge with me, y'all say the pledge. Follow behind me, and let's do this together. Oh, here we go. I will take this day.
I will take this day
and be the best that I can be.
And be the best that I can be.
Do the best that I can.
Do the best that I can.
And help as many people as I can to do the same thing.
And help as many people that I can to do the same thing.
I promise to do it with love.
I promise to do it with love.
Compassion. And the grace of God.
And the grace of God.
And the grace of God.
Giving him all the honor.
Giving him all the honor.
We have some technical difficulties doing the pledge.
Praise.
And all of the glory.
and all of the glory.
All of the glory.
In the name of my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
In the Lord of my name and Savior, Jesus Christ.
Amen, amen,
Amen.
and amen.
Amen.
Rico, you still with us? Oh, Rico done hung up, so I got to get Toussaint double duty today. I was trying to get
Lord have mercy.
What's going on at 3 o'clock today, Toussaint?
Man, the show gonna be on. If you missed anything, any part of it, either you can either hear or see it in its entirety.
Yes, sir.
At 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you log in to EKMMediaGroup.com.
There you go. There you go.
You can hear it again.
You can hear it again.
In its entirety.
In its entirety. Good deal. You did good. I'm gonna take you off. I'm gonna take you off the I'm gonna take one of your jobs away from it, and I'm gonna go to Brandy. Brandy, I'm putting her on the spot for real. Brandy, you there? Brandy, are you there? Oh, she might have went to another line or something. I thought I heard some talking. I was gonna try to get her to do it to something, but it's on you, brother. Pray us out.
Wait a minute. Oh, I'm here. I'm closing out. I'm sorry.
Okay. Hey,
go ahead.
Brandy, pray us out, sis.
Okay, hold on 1 second.
Okay.
Okay, hold on one. No, go ahead. You can go ahead and do it. I'm sorry.
No. Pray us out, sis. It ain't gotta be no scrap.
Okay.
Just pray us out.
Okay. Thank you, Lord, for our opportunity to be able to show up for our brotherhood and our sisterhood this morning. And thank you, Lord, for being able to bestow some knowledge and wisdom upon the community, Lord, this morning. And just help us to fortify us and to lead us and to keep us disciplined, Lord, and to keep us consistent and to keep us on the right path of what we need to be doing, Lord, as we navigate this new terrain and where we're headed, and financially and spiritually, Lord. And we just thank you for that opportunity to show up today, Lord, and be able to get your word out, to help people understand your goodness and everything that you have before them. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and leave out of here, but thank you so much.
Hey, thank you, sis. I appreciate you. I'm gonna be calling you later, though. I'm gonna be calling you in a little bit. Okay.
All right.
Good deal.
All right. Bye.
All right. I want to thank everybody for joining us. And more than that, I want to thank you for allowing DKM Media Group and Associates and the Morning Glow for being a part of your day. It is now, 10:06. You're about to exit the Morning Glow. But before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us, because we are certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody, and give them a hug, because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you could do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. We shine some light to you from the Morning Glow. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in, and let your light so shine. Get an opportunity, give somebody some love. You just might find some love in return. Won't that be a beautiful thing? Have a great day. Take care of each other, and please be blessed. Give somebody some love and truth. They would appreciate it, and I'm sure that you will as well. Have a great day. Talk to you Thursday morning, if God says the same. Have a great day, y'all. Love you. Be blessed.
Welcome to the stage where hearts unfold in the morning glow, stories untold. Let's paint with words a masterpiece of art, where dialogues bloom, igniting in every heart. Let's tap into the ocean of thoughts, where waves of healing gently salt. Let's paint with words a masterpiece of art, where dialogues bloom, igniting every heart. Let's dive into the ocean of thoughts, where waves of healing gently sought. Together we'll mend, stitch by stitch, in the morning glow. Let's make the switch. A symphony of voices, harmonizing the air, echoing truth, banishing despair. Let's sow seeds of unity, watch them grow in this garden of hope under the morning glow. Let's bridge the gaps, erase the line. In the tapestry of hearts, let love shine. With every word, a step we take towards a brighter dawn for all our sake. Welcome to the morning glow, where dreams take flight in this realm of possibilities. Let's unite, together we stand, hand in hand, healing the nation across the land. Let's dive into the ocean of thoughts, where waves of healing gently sought. Together we'll mend, stitch by stitch, in the morning glow. Let's make the switch. Let's dive into the ocean of thoughts, where waves of healing gently sought. Together we'll mend, stitch by stitch, in the morning glow. Let's make the switch. Let's symphony of voices harmonizing the air.